Preston, the Supreme Court, in a ruling that expands presidential power, ruling that President Trump does have the power to hire and fire those serving in independent government agencies like the FCC and the FAA. However, in the case of Fed Governor Lisa Cook, the court said she can keep her job for now. ABC's Devin Dwyer with more.
What the Supreme Court said is the Fed is different. It rejected President Trump's attempt, at least for now, to remove a Democratic appointee, Lisa Cook, from the Fed. He's alleged that she committed mortgage fraud. He said that constitutes cause for her removal. The Supreme Court, in a decision by Justice John Roberts, said that isn't clear in this case, but for now she can stay on the job. The Fed is different. It's unique.
The High Court also refusing to hear an appeal in the $5 million sex abuse and defamation civil suit that writer E. Jean Carroll won against the president. This is ABC News. The nation's largest active wildfire has consumed more than 92,000 acres in southwest Utah. And, says ABC's Jim Ryan, another fire burning about 200 miles away has taken the lives of 3 firefighters.
A solemn procession of emergency vehicles passes beneath an American flag flying from the ladder of a fire truck in Grand Junction, Colorado, to honor 3 federal wildland firefighters who died while responding to the Snyder Fire near the Colorado-Utah border. At the site of the largest fire, some good news.
The winds have calmed down, there's higher humidity, cooler temperatures, and so the fire is not moving as much.
Paige Penuco of the Utah Forest Service says the Cottonwood Fire is approaching 100,000 acres. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Europe's record heat has overwhelmed Paris mortuaries. The number of people dying has been growing. Public Health France says there were more than 1,200 deaths on Wednesday. There were 1,400 on Thursday and another 1,400 on Friday, and more death certificates are being counted. I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
A former UW worker is accused of sexually abusing 2 teens. We'll tell you how police say he was caught. But first, KIRO Newsradio traffic. Not too bad out there right now. We did have a slight delay northbound 5 near the West Seattle Bridge, but pretty good drive all the way up from Olympia until you get to the Michigan curves. Then you'll start to tap the brakes a little bit. Drive from Everett to Seattle, 27 minutes right now. Normally takes about 45. So far, so good out there. This traffic report is brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Frank Lindsay. The former general manager of residential dining at the University of Washington is charged with sexually abusing 2 teen girls, ages 13 and 15. He's been identified as 56-year-old Grant Lee Huff.
The UW Daily confirming he no longer works for the university. The investigation, though, started back in March when a mother contacted Benton County authorities in eastern Washington after discovering sexually explicit images and conversations on her 15-year-old daughter's phone.
That's KIRO 7 TV's Eric Thomas. U.S. Marshals have rescued an Arizona girl they believe was a victim of sex trafficking from a homeless encampment near Olympia known as the Jungle. One resident telling KIRO 7 he saw at least 5 agents searching the camp.
One of them gave me a business card, showed me a picture, mentioned her name.
The mother of an Aberdeen boy believed to have been abused to death says the system failed him. After getting out of prison, Amanda Cervillon tells KIRO 7 she couldn't find her son Aiden. His father, Jacob Bevins, claimed he was with his aunt in Idaho.
They obviously went and followed up with that and found that wasn't true. Roberta, his aunt, said that she had never met Aiden.
Police say Bevins later admitted the boy died after a head injury. The boy was found buried in the backyard. Bevins now facing homicide and child assault charges. A magnitude 5.5 earthquake hit off the Oregon coast early this morning, about 185 miles southwest of the city of Eugene. This was at 4:35 a.m. The quake was more than 6 miles deep. After that, there were 2 more smaller quakes off the Oregon coast, but no tsunami threat. Crews are fighting a fast-moving wildfire near Winthrop in Okanogan County. Hamilton Fire started yesterday morning just west of town, burning about 100 acres. Meanwhile, burn bans are now in place across 8 western Washington counties, including Pierce, King, Kitsap, Snohomish, Mason, Clallam, San Juan, and Whatcom. Island County, by the way, plans to implement an outdoor burn ban starting on July 1st. KIRO News Radio weather is going to look pretty much the same for the next few days. Gray skies today, we should hit 69 degrees. Mostly cloudy, 67 tomorrow. Mostly cloudy on Wednesday. Some scattered showers possible, too, with a high of 66. Mostly cloudy, 68 on Thursday. Right now, it's 57 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning to all of you. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Good morning to you, Ursula.
Good morning. Hey, we both had some eventful weekends.
Oh, yeah, it was eventful.
Yeah, it sure was.
Yeah.
Hey, coming up at 9:30, you're going to share how you gave people an exclusive interview.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have a lot to say about it.
Yeah. Except for Gee and Ursula Show listeners. They're like, well, wait a minute, Gee. Didn't you talk about this in early May?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. But now it's suddenly becoming fodder for others. So we're going to address that. The other thing that happened, and the reason I'm saying it was an eventful weekend, I ended up in the ER yesterday.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I know, for a couple of hours. And I think I'm just in that weird phase of life where, anyway, we'll explain coming up at 9:30.
Okay.
As always, we invite you to join us on the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO.
Top stories of the day brought to you by Pendergast Law.
And we're going to start off with breaking news because one of the biggest questions hanging over Washington's vote-by-mail system has now been answered this morning by the U.S. Supreme Court. Now, the court just ruled that states can keep counting ballots that arrive after Election Day as long as they were postmarked on or before Election Day. And so for all of us here in Washington, this means no change, which is a big deal. So under state law, your ballot does not have to physically arrive by Election Day, but it does have to be postmarked by then. And the Secretary of State's office says thousands of Washington ballots can fall into that category, especially when people mail them close to the deadline. So, again, the court has now sided with the states. But, just to be safe, it's always good to get your ballots in early.
Hey, Mr. Postman. Mr. Postman, just deliver the mail. You got one job. Don't try to be making any decisions on who and what just deliver the mail. And then when the mail is sent back, just deliver it back to the voting. Business as usual is still going on in Washington.
Well, and I'm just happy because I was curious as to how the Supreme Court, given its makeup, would be ruling on this. But again, as of right now, this is a big victory for states like ours that do mail-in balloting.
So imagine having a referee. You have a referee, and you and I are going to sit here, and we're going to watch our kids play the game. And every single time your team wins, Ursula, every single time your team wins, nobody says anything. Every time my team wins, everybody got something to say. It's the same referee. But have you noticed that lately when it comes to voting and everything, when one group wins, nobody says anything. But if they lose, oh my goodness, it was fraud, it was cheating. Why is that?
I just don't understand why it changes after Election Day. It must be a plot while they're counting.
Yeah. I'm just breathing a sigh of relief because, I get all worked up about this whole voting thing and making sure that people actually do vote and not have any reasons not to think that their vote's going to count or not count. So in any case, I think that this is good news. Okay, Seattle's Pride Parade took over downtown on Sunday, and even the gray skies yesterday could not dull the color out there. 4th Avenue was just packed for the parade, an estimated 300,000 people showing up for this year's event. The theme was rally, and that word was doing a lot of work because, yes, Pride, of course, is a celebration, but this year it also came during a national backlash over LGBTQ rights, especially around transgender people. And King 5 spoke with this trans man who attended his first Pride event.
I've seen just everybody just loving and trans rights is, it's a beautiful thing, and I feel like it's very important. They're trying to take a lot of rights away for the trans people, and I feel like everybody being out here showing love is just a wonderful thing. Love is love.
The parade kicked off with motorcycles flying pride flags, then came grand marshals, floats from Alaska Airlines, Starbucks, UW, local groups, and then there was one new entry, a Taiwan float featuring a rainbow version of Taipei 101, marking Taiwan as the first Asian country to legalize same-sex marriage. And for a lot of people who are watching, the message was pretty simple. Joy can be defiant.
I've been around a while. I don't necessarily need this, but I think when you're new, it's important to see others like you.
There was a lot of support out there, and thankfully no reports of any arrests or other serious problems.
Ursula, Halloween time, we talk about that often. And during Halloween, how do we let trick-or-treaters know that you're welcome to come to our house?
Keep the porch light on.
Keep that porch light on. And something we talked about on our show before, that's what this is keeping the porch light on, letting the folks of the LGBTQ community know that they're welcome. They're welcomed here. It's just that simple. But I find something interesting. And this is the part that really makes me scratch my head. Because there's people out here that they used to have the porch light on. They used to take pictures, being around celebrating with the porch light on. And here we are just less than 5 years later, they turned the porch light off. Bunch of grifters out here in the world. You see, because turning the porch light off for some, right? It is a cash register. It is a way to bring in some funds, to be nasty, to kick down on folks. But I tell you what, Ursula, you got to be real bold to have and be celebrating pride one day, and the next day you're demonizing pride. Mm-hmm. Like, what changes in you to do something like that? Finances?
I was going to say money. Usually.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You thinking of anyone in particular?
You got to move on.
Yeah, okay. Well, for all the concern heading into Friday's Egypt-Iran World Cup match in Seattle, the headlines coming out of it are almost boring, which I think is a compliment because according to Seattle police, there were no arrests tied to the match, no major disruptions in downtown Seattle, no security nightmares, but there was still plenty happening around the edges. Okay, the one thing specifically, King 5 is reporting that the Seattle FBI seized 7 more drones from the World Cup no drone zone, bringing the tournament total to nearly 30 drones confiscated so far. Apparently people are not getting the message, G. Okay, because in case you didn't know, the FAA bans drones within 3 nautical miles of the stadium, up to 3,000 feet in the air. Yeah.
What's nautical?
Like marine.
You know your dog gonna ask. 3 nautical miles. I don't know what that is. Okay, keep going.
Yeah. What it boils down to specifically, Jeff's going to help us with that as soon as he Googles. But I think it's just a slight difference, I believe. But inside the stadium, apparently there was one brief flash of chaos. Maybe you saw it, G, since you were there.
Are you talking about we ran on the field?
Yeah, the Iranian fan rushed the field late in the match after what looked like a possible go-ahead goal for Iran. And then that goal was later wiped away for offside.
Yeah.
But security handled the fan, and police say, again, there were no arrests. And then the game ended in a 1-1 draw.
Yeah. First of all, it was a great match. Second of all, since you brought up the fan or spectator, whoever ran on the field, Ursula. Now, you know I've been at a lot of sporting events.
Yes.
I've seen a lot of fans or spectators run out there and security come to get them. Now, listen, y'all.
This one landed differently?
This one landed different. You want to know why?
Because there was a lot of tension.
No, check this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This might have been the strongest dude that I've ever seen rush the field. They could not get this dude down.
Are you serious?
I'm not playing. Hey, get off me. Get off me.
Sign that man up.
Me. Hey, I'm telling you, Ursula, this dude was so damn strong. I said, God, dog, I got it on video. I said, well, no, I don't. No, I don't have it on video. Anyway, I said, man, wow. I said, oh, my goodness, this dude was strong.
Wow.
Like, I don't know what
I'm curious why they said there were no arrests. But in any case, okay, describe the atmosphere there, though.
Remind me of family reunion. Remind me, if you guys have been to a family reunion before, what do I mean by that? Ursula, we have family reunions, we get together. And then sometimes your parents tell you about, well, hey, Uncle so-and-so is going to be there, and he's this way, and his kids are this way, and Aunt Betty, oh, I don't like them, and all this stuff, right? So a lot of times before you go to the family reunion, you have this idea of what it's going to be like based on what your parents and the adults have said. But when you get to the family reunion, it's just a whole bunch of cousins hanging out and having the best time ever. That was the stadium on Friday night. You had Team Egypt. You had Team Iran. Everybody was beautiful. It was a match. It was love. It was like a family reunion, a bunch of cousins hanging out, and then just being like, well, wait a minute. Hold on. This match, everybody said it was going to be a certain type of way. But this is actually fun. How can we keep... And then you get sad when you get ready to leave your cousins from the family reunion because you had so much fun. That was the statement.
Okay, well, I love that. Yeah. Now, a few people I spoke with who attended were saying, a lot of the same things that you're saying, that it was beautiful and that it was... a lot of love, even though there was a lot of fear that something could happen. Yeah. They were really tight about what kind of flags would be brought in, and a lot of people learned real quick that you could not bring certain flags.
I told you, Ursula, it was Thursday. I didn't even know that there was a difference in flags.
Yes.
But we had a meeting on the different types of flags and what would be allowed and what wouldn't be. Yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah, and several of my... Persian friends were saying that they were upset about the flags being taken away. And then the other thing was that some of the tension was between Iranians themselves who had disagreements over current regime versus previous regime and what they want to happen. But beyond all that, it sounds like it was a great success.
It was.
So that is awesome.
Great.
Okay, Seattle is testing looser rules around public drinking now, and what starts with the World Cup could actually last well beyond it.
Okay.
So there's a new state law that allows expanded alcohol service zones at several fan events, including Seattle Center, Pier 62, and Pacific Place. And so instead of being confined to small beer gardens, you can actually now carry beer or wine through larger but clearly defined areas that have security plans in place. Yeah. And Pike Place Market is also using the law for its Sip and Savor pilot program. So through Labor Day, maybe you don't know this, but you can buy alcoholic drinks from certain businesses and carry them along the market's main street from noon to 5 just on the weekends. And supporters say the idea is to make public spaces more welcoming and allow families and groups to gather outside without forcing adults into a bar and then or into a fenced-off drinking area. But again, it's still a pilot program. Cities and counties that use this new law have to report back on how well it's worked. And the law is set to expire at the end of next year. So my question is, what do you think? Should it continue?
Well, as of right now, yes, unless somebody don't mess it up, right? This is your family's in town, Ursula, and instead of your bedtime being 9 p.m., they have now extended it to 10 p.m. while the family's here. And then you did so well while they were there, and they're gone.
Yeah, and you get rewarded.
You get rewarded. Like, hey, you know what? Keep things up. We'll keep it at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And this is one of those things. You know what I mean? Like, hey, Seattle, keep doing the right things.
Yeah. You have to manage the boring details like security and cleanup and
what do you think about
crowd
this?
Control.
You got the experience?
I did get the experience, and I thought it was a great vibe. And not that I'm a big proponent of, okay, let's all, drink more alcohol or drink more wine or whatever, but just the feeling of having more people in certain areas and having a few looser rules so that you can enjoy a drink, within reason.
Yeah.
The vibe, the atmosphere, what we've been seeing has been great.
Yeah, just don't mess it up.
It's a great analogy because, we got these open drinking zones now. We got the public bathrooms downstairs. Can we keep all the nice things?
Right?
Yeah, let's keep them.
Okay, well,
What's next?
I hate to be a bearer of bad news, but do you know that our state now has the third worst unemployment rate in the country? And now, according to the Seattle Times, Governor Bob Ferguson is turning to some of the state's biggest business leaders for help. He's created a new economic development council made up of executives from Amazon, Boeing, Microsoft, T-Mobile, Alaska Air, Puget Sound Energy, along with labor, tribal, and development leaders. And their job is going to be to figure out what is getting in the way of businesses growing here in Washington and to come up with proposals that the governor can take to Olympia. And again, this comes as our unemployment rate hit 5.2% in May. We're tied with Nevada and Oregon for the third highest in the country. California and Washington, D.C. are the only ones that are higher than us. And at the same time, we've been reporting ad nauseum about Starbucks opening a new office in Nashville. Janicki Industries, which is based in Cedar Woolley, they're saying they're going to expand in Montana instead because they say Washington's taxes and regulatory climate is just anti-business. So the governor says this council is not just a reaction to recent criticism, but he figures that our state cannot take businesses for granted.
Agree. And in this article, Ursula, one of the things that it talks about, this is very important, and this is what needs to be fixed. It's not the fact that there's taxes. It's the fact that there's unpredictable taxes. And so business owners, they're basically saying, hey, we got to figure out 1 minute it's raised, it's lowered, it's this and that. And so it's a lot of unpredictable taxes that are happening here in the state. Now, I'm just a radio host. I don't know how to fix the unpredictable taxes that are happening, the dink and dunk taxes that we have talked about a lot on this show. But I think that we can all agree, especially Ursula, with your top stories of the day, usually, is going to involve something that revolves around taxes here and there. So my question going forward, how do we fix that? And if the only answer is we just make cuts and watch the spending. But just remember, a lot of what they're spending on, he talks about it in this article, cost is going up on everything.
Well, and the governor is promising no new tax increases in his next budget proposal. Now, that wasn't the case for this last one, but he says he's looking at things like also cutting delays for permits and licenses, which we've heard over and over and over again. That has to happen. And why hasn't that happened yesterday? And I'm not talking just statewide, talking about citywide, countywide, basically everywhere. Why does it, just because it always has been, why does it continue to be the case?
And I don't think it's a fair system when it comes to permits. Like, what I mean by that is I think if you know somebody, it might go a little faster than for those.
You can increase the
you know what I'm talking
about? The other thing is, if you're surprised by our unemployment rate, you shouldn't be, because more than 11,000 tech workers lost their jobs just between May of 2025 and April of 2026. That alone is the second highest total in the country. And if you think about it, all those jobs also affect office space and restaurants and contractors and a whole nother layer of the regional economy. So that's kind of eye-opening.
Yeah, it is.
This council has a big task ahead.
Right. Well, Ursula, I think a lot of people, you need to go refill your coffee cups, because coming up at 9:30, you got a few things. One, we're going to find out what you can do in lieu of taking Social Security payments. Maybe you can just write about G. There's that one. And then the next one is we're going to find out what happened with Ursula. Like, you was at the ER.
Yes.
So we got to cover a lot of things. Next, Gee and Ursula.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards. Breaking news coverage, best newscast, excellence in writing, investigative reporting, sports reporting, hard news, capped with a prestigious prize for overall excellence. And we thank you, our audience across the Pacific Northwest. You are the reason we strive to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's finally here, and we're kicking it off with a whole lot of free. Free brake pads with Duralast rotors. Free oil filter with 5 quarts of oil. Free Armor All wipes with Armor All glass cleaner, and more. More free, so you can have more summer. Celebrate free at AutoZone. Now through July 27th. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And right now, new mattresses start at $1,500 during our 4th of July sale. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
Hey, I'm not one to say I told you so, but do you remember last year when I told you that Pure Talk was hands down the best wireless company that I'd ever used? Well, some of you were skeptical, but Consumer Reports just asked 120,000 people to rate every wireless company in America, including the big boys. Well, guess which company was the only company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. Coverage, support, value, data. 5 stars across the board. No service contracts, no cancellation fees, just great U.S. customer service on a crazy fast 5G network for a fraction of what you've been paying. I'm not going to say I told you so, but I will encourage you one more time to dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to a 5-star American wireless company that won't let you down. Pure Talk.
Download the KIRO News Radio app, where you can watch us live or stream us live anywhere, anytime.
How would this initiative, whatever this initiative is, how would he fund it?
Stay connected everywhere. Download the KIRO News Radio app.
145 over 92.
180 over 111.
182 over 100. And I had a heart attack and a cardiac arrest, and then a stroke.
Your blood pressure numbers could change your life.
A lot of people don't understand, including myself. I didn't, now I do, the impact of having a stroke.
My memory is shot.
When I woke up, I couldn't speak.
Lowering your high blood pressure could save you from a heart attack or stroke. If you've stopped your treatment plan, restart it or talk to your doctor about creating one that works better for you. Start taking the right steps at manageyourbp.org.
It's a new life, but I'm going to make it better. I'm coming back. Ask your doctor, check your blood pressure.
Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Medical Association, and the Ad Council.
Les Schwab Tires has been proudly serving communities for over 70 years, and we've collected thousands of inspiring stories. Like Kate, who was off on a long road trip with her best friend when the dash lit up like a game show. They find the nearest Les Schwab. Turns out they really needed an oil change. It was done in a flash. Road trip saved. At Les Schwab, we're proud to keep you rolling. Les Schwab Tires. Our greatest story is yours. Stories are composites inspired by real customer feedback.
Always exhausted, loud snoring, keeping your partner awake? You could have sleep apnea and not even know it. South Seattle Smiles has a comfortable solution with no CPAP required. Most medical insurance accepted. Call 206-241-5533 today. SouthSeattleSmiles.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Frank Lindsay. By a 5-4 vote, the U.S. Supreme Court has issued a ruling upholding the counting of late-arriving ballots so long as they're postmarked by Election Day.
Justice Amy Coney Barrett wrote that federal law does not block Mississippi from counting absentee ballots that arrive as late as 5 days after Election Day. The court's 3 liberal justices joined her opinion, along with Chief Justice John Roberts. Conservative Samuel Alito wrote a dissenting opinion, joined by 3 of his colleagues on the right, saying the majority, quote, creates a serious risk of further undermining public confidence in our elections and our system of self-government.
That's ABC's Stephen Portnoy. Washington Democratic U.S. Representative Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez says she is relieved by the ruling. In a post on X this morning, she says, quote, if you work a shift job, have young kids, or live out in the woods, you can't just dock off for the day to go stand in line at a polling place. A political shakeup by Social Democrats in Seattle. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports, instead of endorsing 2 longtime Democratic state legislators who represent the city, Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson says she's endorsing their more progressive opponents.
According to the Washington State Standard, on Saturday, Mayor Wilson told State Senate Majority Leader Jamie Peterson, author of the Millionaire's Tax, and longtime State Representative Jerry Pollitt, she will be endorsing their opponents in order to shake up the status quo. Social Democrat Hannah Sabio-Howell on the Gee and Ursula Show is calling for more taxes on the rich.
We are paying so much more at the end of the day, at the end of the year, to live here than the super wealthy.
Pollitt's opponent, Ron Davis, wants to tax corporations to make everyday life more affordable for the non-wealthy. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Washington Republican Congressman Michael Baumgartner says he stepped in to staff Washington's booth at the Great American State Fair on the National Mall last week. He tells the Jason Ranch Show on Seattle Red 770 AM he'd gotten no response from Governor Ferguson about taking part.
Once I saw how empty and bleak and pathetic and embarrassing it was, it just bugged me that he was putting partisan politics in front of celebrating our wonderful America.
So he staffed the booth himself. Lieutenant Governor Denny Heck has said the decision to skip the event was based on expense. Seattle police investigating a string of armed robberies early this morning that may be connected. About 4:30, 2 masked suspects tried to rob a man near Cary Park. Minutes later, they hit a Queen Anne convenience store stealing cash. They took off in a dark car, and then a third robbery happened about 20 minutes later in South Seattle. No one was hurt in any of these robberies. Wall Street today, the Dow up 217 points, the NASDAQ up 325 right now, and the S&P is up 55. KIRO News Radio traffic, Bellevue to Bothell, slight delay right now, 15-minute drive, normally takes you about 10. Getting to Everett out of Bellevue, about a 6-minute delay. Same thing if you're heading from Bellwood to Linwood. Bellevue to Linwood. Linwood. I hear it's lovely this time of year. It'll take you about 5 extra minutes to get from Seattle to Woodinville, whether you're taking I-90 or 520. Other than that, not too bad out there right now. This traffic report is brought to you by the KIRO News Radio app. Text app to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. Weather forecast, cloudy, 69 degrees today, mostly cloudy, 67 tomorrow, scattered showers on Wednesday with a high of 66. It's 58 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. Just a little bit of housekeeping. You were asking, what is a nautical mile?
Yeah.
It is used for sea and air navigation. It's slightly longer than a standard mile.
Yeah.
Jay in Portland actually gave us the exact difference.
Okay.
Which, thank you.
Okay.
But it's basically 1 nautical mile equals 1.15 standard miles.
Because you know me, Flex Fridays, yeah. I'd be like, yo, Ursula, I just did 3 nautical miles just to make it, sound extra.
Yeah.
All
okay,
right.
well, we've got to talk about a big story over the weekend because, man, you were all over social media.
All over social media.
And I almost called you.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I know you're also celebrating your anniversary, and it was a big weekend for you. And I was
Great.
like, I'm just not going to bug you.
It was a fantastic weekend.
Yeah, but you did an exclusive interview with People Magazine, which you had mentioned was going to come out.
Let's get into it. It's like one thing I know about Gee and Ursula Show listeners, like you guys know the drill. We talk about what's happening in real time. So maybe you've seen it. People Magazine ran a story for the second time, but we'll get to that in a sec. So I missed my son's wedding. As you all know, I was hosting the World Cup matches here at Seattle Stadium, better known as Lumen Field. And that was a choice that I made. I wasn't in the room for his wedding day, but I want to go back. This is something I talked about in April, told him about it in April. Ursula and we talked about it in early May. Mm-hmm. We talked about it on this very show.
Yeah, I even tried to convince you to change your mind.
Yeah, on this show. Then My Northwest, they wrote about our conversation.
Yes.
So People Magazine back then wrote it up based on our conversation and everything.
On the show, yeah.
On the show. So People Magazine wrote it up in May. Done. So I told you about it. I said, man, can you believe People Magazine did this? So they reached out to me to ask me about that. But I'll get to that in a second. But I want to just say first, this whole idea going around that, his son finally found out and didn't know until this time. Like, that's not the case. However, I don't want to argue timelines. I do want to just say the simple part out loud, and nobody can debate. I missed the wedding. That's a mistake. I'll carry. And for everybody that wants to say something about it, good. I'm a big boy. I'll be okay. Now, in this, when People Magazine reached out to me, they'd already wrote a story. I said, well, you wrote a story already. At least let me go ahead and give you some words in it. Because if you're going to write about it, okay, cool.
Hear it straight from my mouth.
Hear it straight from my mouth if you're going to do that. And I'm going to use this time. Now, I know we are living in a time where headlines are the things that's usually, and nobody reads the story. But in the story, Ursula, I talked about how when dads get it right, nobody says a word. But when a dad falls short, a lot of people like to show up and pounce on that. So I wanted to use this time to reach out, just a message to all fathers. I'd also ask, I asked the interview lady, I was like, hey, have you seen any Father's Day ads or commercials here recently? And she's like, oh, actually, I haven't. So this whole thing, and this is the part, the dad usually that's out here working 2 jobs, that's falling behind on payments, not doing right, having problems in his life, sometimes those mistakes or even mistakes that they make on purpose, whatever the case might be, those get villainized. And what I'm saying is what I used that moment for, Ursula, was to send a message out to people. You can even be a woman, whoever you are. If you make a mistake, it's okay. Move on and go be better for you. And so I just found it interesting that people thought, and people reaching out to me like, gee, it's going to be okay. Yeah, it's going to be okay. What do you mean? Like, people really thought that was are you
well,
okay?
I also saw people who were just taking opportunities to rip on you and, call you all sorts of names and how could you do this?
Sure.
And take pot shots or use it as an opportunity to try to make a couple of extra bucks by getting people to go beyond a paywall so they can read the rest.
Bless a little heart. I mean, if they made an extra $20 off my story, good for them.
Yeah.
But the last thing I'll say this to you, Ursula, is this. While I missed the moment, that means that there were so many moments for him to get to that beautiful moment, which was his wedding, his bride that he met in college. Beautiful thing. So the story is that he got married, and that's great. For me, I missed that moment. that's a moment that, like, hey, I can never get that moment back.
And you're saying that you regret that.
Sure, no doubt. But you move on. But if someone can write a story about it, People Magazine or whoever the case might be, I took that opportunity when people already wrote it up without my comment the first time, which I was shocked that they did that. But since they did, I felt like I would just jump in that story and like, hey, well, let me just tell you what's going on, and that's that. So, anyways, G's fine. Oh, by the way, he's still my son.
Yeah.
I just want.
I was gonna say, are you guys good?
Yeah. Yes. I mean, like, oh, he doesn't have a son anymore. Like, you know what I mean? It's still my son. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you just keep going.
Yeah.
And then some people will judge and they have no kids. You know what I mean? So it's like sometimes with people that don't have kids are trying to judge situations about parents and kids.
Yeah.
That's odd.
I mean, at this point, you're a public figure. It's out there. People Magazine put it out there with the very intention of people weighing in.
Sure.
And you know that you were going to get criticism.
Just a quick thought, because like it's impossible to not have an immediate gut feeling when you see the headline. And upon reflection, I realized, you know what? It's really easy to have a feeling about this when you'd never be in the position to have to make that choice. Because, like, I'll never be in that position. I'll never have to decide whether I'm going to play an NFL game or, be there for my son's birth.
But I think, now, maybe not this specific, but I think all parents and all people are in situations where they have made a decision that was
all the time
deemed that was wrong, or you disappointed your kids. It happens. Like, raise your hand if you're a parent, if you've never disappointed your children. It's going to happen. But Ursula, hold on now. You was in the ER?
Yes.
Oh, come on, what happened?
And now I'm suddenly getting a side ache again. Well, yesterday I woke up and I was like, man, I've got the worst pain underneath my left rib cage.
Yeah.
And it was one of those where, like, I cannot move into a position where it felt any better. And so we went to brunch with my son, and I was like, man, it was the most uncomfortable brunch. And I had to make a decision, like, do I just try to wait it out?
Yeah.
Is it going to get better? I tried to take extra strength Tylenol to make it go away. It wasn't getting any better. And then I was like, do I go to urgent care? Well, no, because if I go to urgent care, they're probably going to tell me, well, we're going to have to do chest x-rays and blah, blah, blah. And you're going to have to go. So I ended up in the ER, and I'm like, man, I'm missing the Pride Parade.
Yeah.
I'm missing all sorts of things. I'm stuck here in the ER. And 3 hours later, inconclusive. But it wasn't my heart. It wasn't pancreatitis, which I was worried about. It wasn't a kidney problem.
Yeah.
It's likely either muscular or maybe something related to GERD is what they said. So.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I know. I was like, there I am in the ER.
Speaking of weddings, a groom gambles away his entire wedding fund. And guess who he sues for this? Next, Gee Ursula.
Have something to say? We'd love to hear it. Text KIRO Newsradio at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Hello. Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi?
They even brought their own devices and spellbook.
You didn't give them the new Wi-Fi password, right?
No.
That's good.
I gave them our old one. Because Xfinity lets us keep the same network name and password so devices connect instantly.
What do they want Wi-Fi for anyways?
Better not to know. Plausible deniability.
Get streaming or scheming instantly with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in one price for the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi for 5 years. Guaranteed. And see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Healthcare costs are rising, and a major driver is hospital prices. They've increased more than 250% over the past 25 years. Families and local businesses are feeling it. At Primera Blue Cross, we're working to change that by negotiating with hospitals to secure fair, responsible prices so you can get the care you need at a cost you can afford. That's coverage that counts. Learn more at coveragethatcounts.primera.com.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repair, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
Have you ever really thought about what happens when you can no longer care for yourself?
If you're not prepared, it's like they just ship you off to a nursing home and you may not even have considered all the options that are available to you.
After retiring, Vic attended a free seminar with elder law attorney Rajiv Nagayach at LifePoint Law, and it changed the way he planned for his future.
He talked about not running out of money, not being a burden to your family. Those are two kind of basic principles that are obviously important.
So what's Vic's advice?
You have to have a plan. You need a running start. You need to be able to understand the system. I would encourage people to consider getting educated. Rajiv has a lot of knowledge, a lot of practical experience that can be helpful.
Register for a free LifePoint Law retirement planning seminar in Federal Way on July 7th, Bremerton July 9th, Everett July 11th, or Bellevue July 18th. Space is limited. Sign up at lifepointlaw.com. lifepointlaw.com.
Get ready to rock. It's Hoobastank, delivering their high-energy sounds at Muckleshoot Casino Resort on Friday, July 31st at 8 p.m. Along with Eve 6. It's two incredible bands on one unforgettable night. Hoobastank and Eve 6 at Muckleshoot Casino Resort on July 31st. Get your tickets now at muckleshootcasino.com.
Please be advised, you may want to stop eating the following foods immediately: broccoli, kale, bean sprouts, blueberries, quinoa, spinach.
Wait, what? I thought those were good for me.
Turns out, not for everyone, because what's healthy for one person can cause inflammation for another. And the only way to really know what your body needs is to listen to it.
Listen how?
That's where Viome comes in. Viome is a simple at-home gut health test that looks at your body's real-time biology using RNA to understand what's happening inside you right now. When your results come in, you'll learn exactly which foods to eat, which to avoid, and which supplements are right for you, all based on the world's largest RNA-based human biology database and thousands of clinical research studies. And many people who use Viome report more energy, better digestion, and a better mood within months. So stop guessing. Start knowing. Learn more at viome.com/gut. V as in Victor, IOME.com/GUT. And use coupon code GUTHEALTH50 to save $50 off your purchase. Viome. Trust your gut.
Good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Hey, coming up at 10 o'clock, a new 750-watt mafia is menacing our streets, Ursula. Well, Chris Sullivan wants to call out the parents who are making it possible. He's joining us at 10 o'clock to talk about it. Somebody texted in and says, I want to hear G's opinion on that. I think, is it Brad and
e-bikes?
Is it Brad and Everett, right? Yeah. So, yeah. I wonder what you guys think I think about e-bikes. Yeah.
Are you and Sully on the same page? Because he's very passionate about this.
Yeah. Okay, Ursula, check this out. A 32-year-old man in Illinois, engaged, about to get married. He's suing DraftKings. he blew through more than $2 million in bets, drained the wedding fund, lost his job, and actually ended up hospitalized for suicidal thoughts before he got help. He emptied the wedding savings, then the credit cards,
$2 million,
then the personal loans, even raided the 401k to keep betting. Now, here's the part that's crazy, Ursula. 2 weeks before he was hospitalized, the company, DraftKings, has sent him 5 separate $200 credits to pull him back in.
Oh,
you know how these casinos and all them.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Let's give you a frying pan. Come in on a Wednesday. We'll give you a little suitcase that you don't need. No, I kid you not.
Okay, wait. Let's get serious.
Yeah.
Let's get serious.
Okay.
Now, you guys, Ursula, that's the story. But DraftKings, just to get right to it, a judge in Pennsylvania already tossed a similar case, ruling that DraftKings has no duty to stop you from spending that much or from gambling. So this message is for everyone out here hearing this story. If you were the judge, you be the judge, would you allow this case, allow this person to sue DraftKings, or would you throw it out as well? Ursula, what you got?
I mean, you can sue them, and the positive in all of this is that it brings up these stories where you can see where others have really fallen, and I want to say victim, but it's a victim of your own addiction, unfortunately. And in this case, the lawsuit is claiming that DraftKings, which is an app, ignored obvious signs that this guy had a serious gambling problem. Yeah. And, I mean, what's in it for DraftKings if they say, man, this person is spending so much money, let's go ahead and curb it for him? That's not going to happen. They made him a VIP customer. Are you kidding me?
Ursula, let me ask you, do you think that VIP's part be working?
What's that?
Do you think that VIP, like, hey, we're going to treat you
Of course it does. Of course it does. That's how you get cruises. That's how you get free hotel nights. The problem is it's on you to know what you are willing to lose, essentially. Yeah, you might have the rare chance of winning, but you're basically, you've got to know when you are going to stop. But these companies or casinos or whatever, they know that's how those beautiful buildings are built. Or DraftKings, I mean, I haven't looked at the numbers. I didn't look at it. But, I mean, that's probably a company that's doing really, really well right now.
I'll say this. If anyone wants to blame DraftKings, I would say it's higher than that. We should blame our government for allowing DraftKings to do what they're doing. On the Gee and Ursula Show, is it fair to say we've been talking about
it
this for a minute?
We had the state attorney general talking to us about what they were doing with Kaushi. Which, you know, for a lot of people, you're just hearing about it right now, but there are some people who are really entrenched in it and dealing with some serious problems financially, emotionally, all of it, because they can't. Not everyone can control their gambling.
Gee, you have a perfect point, and both of you are making great points, because one of the things that the lawsuit points out is that DraftKings focus their business in the U.S. because the regulatory environment here, they allow DraftKings to target specifically with their algorithms people who they know have gambling problems and hit them right at the point where they're going to be chasing a loss, because you have to make a physical decision to go into a casino, right?
Yes.
But DraftKings, what they can do in the U.S. is the equivalent of bringing an addict drugs in rehab.
Yeah.
Because
in the comfort of
it's
their
in your
own home.
pocket.
Yes.
It's in your pocket. It's in bed. Like, hey, there you go. We know we know you're right at the point where you're feeling about. Here's try a little more. Add a little more.
I mean, but the algorithms were specifically used to identify his behavior, send him those personalized offers, give him credits. Like, oh my gosh, we're going to give you $200 and you feel really good. You know how fast you can go through $200 if you're not careful?
Yeah. Ursula, let's talk about algorithms. Because I'm telling you, my algorithm DraftKings, and they don't even rock with me.
Yeah.
They be like, this dude he's whatever. Now, Saks Fifth Avenue, Nordstrom, you know what I'm saying? That's all in my algorithms.
Yes.
But if you're somebody who...
they know exactly who you are.
They know who you are.
Yes.
And you made a great point. Like, so they find out this is a person? They're going to scale down?
No, they're going to do the opposite. Sadly.
Or so these casinos really be telling you to pull up on a Wednesday for a skillet?
Yes. Actually, I think this month it's 4th of July related.
Yeah.
I think it's like barbecue something or other. Tents.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nick, man, is some of these the young Gen Z, are they gonna get it finally with this gambling stuff?
I think if they lose enough, I think they're gonna reach the point where it's like, this isn't really working for me, but some of them just keep pushing, man.
Yeah.
They don't read the tea leaves.
Right? Well, this guy did get treatment, though, completed an outpatient program.
Yeah.
He has put himself on Illinois' self-exclusion list, which means they're just going to bar you from any of it.
Yeah. Grandpa Mike says, guys, casinos will cut you off if you look like you're going bad.
They will? How bad?
How bad, right. Hey, coming up next, Sully comes in to talk about e-bikes. What's your opinion on that? We'll find out. Sully's next. Gee Ursula.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But for a view that's a real home run, check out right field. Make that the dump yard. Sure, it's a great spot to see our fearless outfielders fly, dive, and slide.
Wow! Victor Robles makes the catch!
But you might get to flash some leather too, because the forecast in the dump yard always calls for rain. Raining big dumper home runs, that is.
Number 60, the magical tour of Cal Raleigh just continues.
Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
Don't miss this week's Cal Raleigh Funko Pop giveaway. You have 3 chances to score this one-of-a-kind collectible as the Mariners take on the Angels. Tonight, tomorrow, and Thursday at T-Mobile Park. The first 10,000 fans at each game will head home with this must-have Funko Pop. Lock in your seats today at Mariners.com.
You know, I used to think all money managers were the same until I spoke with Fisher Investments.
Really? How different are they?
Fisher's investment counselors are dedicated to service, not sales, keeping clients up to date on their portfolio.
Well, they probably just invest in a bunch of mutual funds like I do.
Nope. They build a tailored portfolio based on their clients' personal goals, helping them stay on track for a comfortable retirement.
Well, they must make commissions selling products.
Actually, Fisher doesn't sell any commission-based products. They're a fiduciary, and they believe that's a conflict.
Then they have some kind of complex fee structure.
Nope. Fisher has a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of their client's portfolio. So they do better when their clients do better.
It sounds like Fisher really is different.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Fisher Investments. Clearly different wealth management. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Les Schwab Tires has always believed that taking care of people is the right thing to do. Today, that means more than trusted service. It means delivering real value, too. That's why we're lowering prices on hundreds of tires without changing the service and expertise you've always counted on. Consumer Reports named Les Schwab the best tire retailer for 2026. We'll keep working every day to earn your trust. See leschwab.com for details.
Caregiving isn't just hard work, it's heart work. Every day, caregivers bring dignity, kindness, and comfort to those who need it most. Right now, Washington needs more caring hearts. Your kindness, your patience, your heart are needed more than ever. Caregiver Careers Washington will guide you every step of the way. Our friendly navigators help you find training, certification, and employment at no cost to you. Start your heart work today at caregivercareerswa.com. That's caregivercareerswa.com.
Sponsored by DSHS and aired by the WSAB and this station.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
ABC News, I'm Mike Dubusky. A mix of decisions from the Supreme Court this morning ruling against President Trump's attempt to fire Fed Governor Lisa Cook, but also saying the president does have the ability to fire heads of independent agencies like the FTC. Meanwhile, the court has also upheld state laws allowing late-arriving mail-in ballots to be counted if they're postmarked by Election Day. It marks a loss for the Trump administration.
It is a victory, though, for voters and for the states who have provisions that include these grace periods. A number of states have those provisions. It has certainly been a major issue so far in the midterm elections and the primaries already, as you've seen in California. This is a ruling that says that the congressional statutes that refer to Election Day refer in essence to the casting of those ballots rather than the receiving of those ballots.
ABC News legal contributor James Sample. President Trump now says Iran has requested peace talks in Doha, Qatar this week. This is ABC News. About 3 million fewer Americans are on affordable health care insurance plans this year as compared to last year.
Democrats shut the government down trying to get Republicans to approve a continuation of federal subsidies for Obamacare recipients, but it didn't work. Now the Health and Human Services Department is showing a 13% reduction in those on ACA plans in 2026 versus 2025. The decrease believed because millions of people, many of them gig workers who aren't offered insurance through an employer, are either unwilling or unable to pay the much higher premiums. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
If you live in California, you won't have to turn down the volume for some ads while you're streaming content. Streaming services in that state are now banned from showing ads louder than the original video content. The new law takes effect on Wednesday and only applies to California for right now. Those streamers may make the change more broadly. I'm Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
8 months after a woman's death, Bellevue police have made an arrest. We'll tell you how the suspect and victim were connected. First, KIRO Newsradio traffic. We did have some road work eastbound Highway 16 near the midspan of the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. That's now cleared out of the way. And so far, a pretty good drive. Alderwood to South Center on 405 or I-5, running much ahead of schedule. Also easy drives from Everett to Seattle and from Federal Way into Seattle this morning. This traffic report is brought to you by Wilcox Farms. For a convenient, healthy snack on the go, look for ready-to-eat Wilcox hard-boiled eggs. Find Wilcox eggs at Costco, Metro Market, Safeway, and other local grocers.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Frank Lindsay. Bellevue police have made an arrest in connection with the death of a 27-year-old woman last October. On Friday, they said they did a follow-up interview with her husband, and shortly after that, he was arrested. The 30-year-old is now being held on $5 million bail. The former head of residential dining at the University of Washington is facing charges, accused of sexually abusing 2 girls. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports the 56-year-old suspect is facing 6 felony counts.
Court documents say Grantley Huff groomed and paid a 15-year-old and 13-year-old through apps on their phones and gave them shoes, clothing, alcohol, and marijuana. The mother of the 15-year-old victim contacted investigators back in March after she claimed she found sexually explicit images and conversations on her daughter's phone, according to the Seattle Times. Police say Huff used encrypted and auto-deleting messages to avoid detection, including encounters in hotel rooms. He's being held on $750,000 bail. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Tacoma firefighters are investigating an explosion at an apartment complex last night near South 12th and Whitman, not far from Hunt Middle School. Chelsea Shepard with Tacoma Fire tells KIRO 7 smoke was coming from an electrical conduit when alarms went off. A resident pulled the fire alarm to warn neighbors. Then the blast happened about 20 minutes after firefighters arrived.
So it sounds like the explosion actually happened inside the wall, but it did blow some particle board and such like out the back door. So it was pretty significant.
No one got hurt, though. People in 60 units did have to find somewhere else to stay last night. Seattle's seeing massive World Cup crowds. KIRO 7 TV reporting new numbers show more than 120,000 people packed the stadium district for the opener on June 15th. 150,000 showed up down there for the U.S. versus Australia match on June 19th. That's the biggest turnout in Pioneer Square since they started keeping track in 2019. 100,000 people turned up for last Friday night's Pride match between Egypt and Israel. Meanwhile, the State Patrol wants you to make good choices as you enjoy the next two World Cup matches here in Seattle. They're going to be conducting extra DUI patrols on match days. The next one is Wednesday, 1 p.m., Belgium facing Senegal. Final game will be next Monday. On Friday night, the State Patrol says troopers in King County arrested 11 drivers for suspected impairment. KIRO News Radio weather calling for cloudy skies and a high of 69 today, mostly cloudy and 67 on Tuesday. Scattered showers in Wednesday's forecast with a high of 66. 58 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Frank Lindsay. KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning to all of you. Ursula had a buddy over to the house yesterday. One of them says, and they're from Dallas, Texas. And they said that this is the coldest June that they've ever felt in their life.
Seriously, January. It's back to January.
It's January.
Here. Except we're almost at 4th of July, just in time. Well, wait a minute. I heard from Nick Allard, though, on KIRO 7 TV, that we are going to warm up for the 4th. We're at least going to be back in the 70s.
Can I ask you this, though?
Yeah, of course.
Are you mad at this weather right here, right now? I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
Am I mad? No. Am I disappointed?
You're disappointed?
Yeah. I liked one day. I liked one day because it gave me a break of not feeling like I had to be outside. Yeah. But this is more than one day now.
I want it to be just like this. You know what I mean?
Like cuddle weather.
Wait, but it's a short week. We got the 4th, the weekend. By the time the weekend comes, it'll be in the 70s.
Yes, exactly. Perfect. Exactly. Okay, text us. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line is 888-973-5476. 888-973 KIRO. Coming up at 10:30, I do want to say, you heard that story in Frank's newscast about that former UW employee accused of paying teenage girls for sex. Now we're finding out that, those child safety features on apps? Well, a lot of them don't actually work. So we're going to get into that coming up at 10:30, but let's get to it.
What's new at 10?
I'm just going to read this headline as it is because it's got to be written by Sully. A new 750-watt mafia is menacing our streets right now. Chris Sullivan, you are here.
That.
Okay.
I'm not that creative.
Okay, chef. Okay, but you are kind of up in arms about a certain faction of folks who use these e-bikes.
Yeah. I'm calling for all parents to pull your head out of the sand and basically take away your kids' e-bikes.
Take them away.
Take them away. A specific kind, because I think right now most parents do not understand what it is they bought their child.
Oh.
And the law has changed, and the behavior that we're seeing right now has got to stop. We are going to be burying kids all summer long if this doesn't change. And parents, you're the only ones who can change this. I hate to be harsh, but after what I saw last week, I'm done.
What did you see?
I think we've all seen it in our neighborhoods. The kids on their e-bikes, and then one or two, wheelies. Well, last week I saw a full street takeover of one of the largest and busiest streets in Snohomish County in the middle of the day. Up to 20 preteens, probably 11, 12, 13-year-old boys, took over 132nd Street Southeast in the westbound direction in the middle of the afternoon. All doing wheelies, all on illegal bikes, and yes, they are illegal, and I will explain what that is in a minute. And not only were they doing wheelies, running red lights, They were running from the cops and turning around and videoing them for their YouTube and TikTok
Are you
channels.
serious?
Yes.
So someone had called, so the cops were on it.
I was driving the other direction, and this mob of kids they're going through the cars, passing them in between the lanes until they got into a group, and they took over the road. There were 2 Snohomish County deputies in tow, lights and sirens, telling them to stop. The kids just laughed and kept on going.
Oh, no.
That is what's happening right now on the streets. That's not kids with a couple of wheelies in the neighborhood doing donuts in the church parking lot. This has got to end. They're going to die. They were cutting in and around through cars, and if you can't see them, you don't know what's happening. You're going to run them over, and they are going to die. They ran the biggest intersections in Snohomish County. We're talking Highway 527 and Highway 96, right by the Fred Meyer, north of Mill Creek. Just blew through that intersection like they didn't care. Semis, articulated buses, box trucks, SUVs, all share this road, and they didn't seem to give a damn. And parents, this is on you, because you bought them these bikes, most likely, and didn't understand what you were buying them.
Oh, I don't have any questions almost because, Sully, I'm glad you're talking about this. And someone asked what are my thoughts on what you had to say. I agree with you 100%. I'll even take it a step further. We're seeing problems with that. Also, we are also seeing problems, not that they're banned, but e-scooters are a real problem. There was a young man down in Portland in the Beaverton area just recently last week. 14 years old, just lost his life. There was a young gal up north here in Seattle.
Kirkland, yeah. Last weekend.
Last week, you heard about it.
Oh, yeah.
Was hit, very seriously injured. And I'm glad you said what you said. In your opinion, there are parents right now or loved ones that are listening, and they haven't had an idea. They haven't gone out and ridden them themselves and to see what would you suggest that they do to go find out?
Well, the first thing you do is you have to go out to the bike that you bought your child and look at it.
Okay.
They are all the legal ones, and I'm talking not the ones you're buying from China that are direct to sell here, which are motorcycles, which are entirely illegal. But everything is marked. There are 3 types of e-bikes, Class 1, Class 2, Class 3. First 2 classes have pedals. They're pedal assist. You can't go more than 20 miles an hour. Class 3 generally don't have pedals, and if they do, they have a higher motor in terms of power, and they can go 28, 30 miles an hour. As of June 11th, anyone 16 or under cannot ride a Class 3 in this state. It is not legal.
Okay.
It is a motorcycle now.
I bet the word hasn't quite gotten out. Yeah.
And if they are riding that, they need to have a driver's license and a motorcycle license to drive that vehicle. 750 watt max power. Pedal assist. That's legal. All of that is spelled out in the little labels that are taped all over these bikes when you buy them. Go out and see what your kid has. And again, I don't want to fault the parents on a lot of, because I know they probably didn't realize. They probably don't know how powerful these things are. Mm-hmm. Then you add that to a 12-year-old boy, and let's face it, not exactly the smartest person in the world. I was one. I act like one still. You're erratic. You do dumb things. And
you feel
now
like you're invincible.
Power, and you don't understand. You don't know the rules of the road. You haven't taken driver's ed. You don't know what you can do. And one thing drivers rely on, consistency from other drivers. You know that generally this person's going to do this and that because they've been trained. With these kids on these powerful bikes, they're not trained. They're doing erratic things. And so I think the first thing parents need to do is go look at the bikes they have, make sure they're legal now, and then ask your kids what are you doing? Are you going out with your buddies? And because they're all posting it on YouTube and posting it on TikTok.
Well,
and it'd be pretty easy to find that out if your kid's doing that.
Right.
And as I said in my commentary this morning, and again, it was a commentary, I'm on my high horse, is I'd rather have a pissed off kid that I took his bike away than a dead one.
Right.
And I hate to be harsh, but that's where this is
Have
going.
to.
After what? And you know what's funny? Not funny. The next day, that was Wednesday afternoon. Manda Factor, morning host of Seattle's Morning News, saw a similar group the next day in Mill Creek on 164th, one major highway down to the south, doing the exact same thing in the middle of the day in Mill Creek.
Okay, so here's my question, though, because you said police were in tow, deputies were following. what's the follow-up? Did they... I mean, at the very least, I would want to...
Here's what they wrote me in response, because I asked them, and they're like, we called off the pursuit because it wasn't safe, because they're running red lights, and then they got to a spot, and they all just kind of dispersed, went in different places.
They should post the video, and if parents know that their kids are on there, I mean, that would be the end of, that kid's bike.
Yeah. And again, these are not inexpensive vehicles. And I'm not against e-bikes. I'm just, what we're seeing now is that they're just become too powerful, and I don't think parents realize. Now, in some cases, I've seen plenty of parents who are riding the same bike, illegal bike, with their kids as well. So there's some parents who out there who we need to do better. And I'm not coming at this as I'm mad at the parent. I just don't want to cover stories of kids dying. And after what I saw last Wednesday, it is going to happen. It's inevitable based on what they're writing, how they're writing, and then the running from the cops.
We're already hearing it.
It's like, really? It's just, I think I just had to say something, because I didn't want to go to bed at night knowing that some kid died in my neighborhood because his parents didn't know that maybe that bike was illegal. I have a chance to say something and hopefully educate somebody.
Yeah.
And because that's all I want, because this was scary. I was driving the other way. I was scared to death.
I bet.
I didn't know what they were going to do. And the drivers around them were like, what? And then the cops didn't know what to do. I mean, and so right now, the state, all the local jurisdictions are trying to figure out the best way to handle this, because, pursuing them may not be the right thing. Down in Auburn, to totally pimp out my entire Seattle's Morning News crew, Charlie Harger, his son Sam, bought one of these illegal bikes. And they wrote it, and they talked about it. Last week, one of his buddies got a $300 ticket from Auburn, and the Hargers were like, done. Sam, you're not driving your bike.
Yeah.
Good luck trying to sell that thing.
Yeah.
So we're trying to figure this out as a society right now, but I think the technology got it way ahead of parents, and then you combine that with young, dumb boy brains, and it's not all boys that do this. I'm sure there's some young girls involved, but this group was all boys.
Yeah.
It's not a good combo.
Okay, well, parents listening right now, if your kid has a bike like this, you, at the very least, have to have a very serious conversation. If not, take some action and hold it until they're a little bit older.
Just education. That's all I'm looking at. Just a little bit of education, and hopefully, we can curb this before we have something really terrible to talk about.
We're already talking about too many accidents. Sully, thank you.
Appreciate you. Anytime.
Okay, Gee, we need to talk about Highway 99, because did you see this? This is a story out of the Seattle Times that Seattle is considering removing Highway 99 from the South Park neighborhood. And if you're asking why, that stretch of Highway 99 cuts diagonally through the neighborhood, and it creates 22 dead ends. Of course, it puts a lot of traffic, noise, and pollution near homes, near schools, parks, and the library. And only about 10% of the traffic there comes from local residents. Most of it is freight and pass-through commuters. So the city is looking at a couple of different options. One is to remove the highway and reclaim the land. I'm looking at you. For parks and housing and restored shoreline and reconnected streets. But that would be very expensive. It would also require years of study, construction, of course, and the state would have to approve it, first of all. Number two would be turn it into a narrow 2-lane city street, which would still reconnect the neighborhood and cut traffic roughly in half, but then the trucks would hate that, and that would be a disruption. 3, make it a wider 4-lane boulevard, which would be more room for traffic and freight with safer sidewalks and crossings. And then 4, just keep it the highway, but add bridges and trails and trees, etc. But it does not really solve the core problem, because South Park would still be divided by Highway 99. And I know that you have some thoughts on this.
Well, first, before I give my thoughts, I just want to say why I love my job so much. One, Ursula tees up these stories, and when she's teeing them up, she's smiling because she knows I'm getting ready to just go ham. That's number one. Number two, I just love our listeners, because we have built a relationship where I can comfortably have real conversations with you all. So you heard what Ursula just had to say, and this is not new to where this has happened all over the country. It's called green gentrification, okay? So for 70 years in the South Park area, they basically essentially built South Park next to a dump, the Duwamish River, right? Mm-hmm. In this situation with the freeway going through it, they've known this. You guys can look this up. Grandmama's been sick. Asthma is through the roof. No other worse area than this area. You're talking about health. And so back in the 50s and 60s, somebody, Ursula, said, those people over there, their air that they breathe, it doesn't matter. Their health, it doesn't matter. So what's happening is we all hear what you had to say, Ursula, and we all are saying, yes, we need to fix it, which I agree. We do need to fix it. But this is the problem that has been happening all over the country. When they go to fix it, then the people that were living there, they get displaced because property values goes up.
Yeah.
Now, I used to have a partner about 20-something years ago. Ursula, he lived in South Park in a just dump of apartments. I mean, it was a real dump. You understand me?
But
the view.
Because I've driven through.
The view?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. It was amazing. Yeah. So as we're talking about this, and as you're talking about this, I just keep thinking about his apartment and how much of it was a dump, but the view. So if they do fix this, then they need to put something in place to make sure that the people that are forced to live in these conditions today are able to stay living there. Now, if you do what they do all over the country and you, quote unquote, fix this area and displace the people, well, come on now. Then you didn't prove G right again. We can't have that, Ursula.
No.
Green gentrification.
Interesting.
Because there's such thing as environmental racism.
Yes, no, I do know that. It's not something that is talked about nearly enough.
Only on the Gee Ursula Show.
Yeah, only on the Gee Ursula Show. Yeah. But, I mean, that's also seen in things like where you're planting trees, for example, right?
Heat islands. Yep.
Exactly. So this is going to be interesting. So I'm curious as to what is going to happen with that, because they do have different options, all with pros and cons. But I like what you said, which is it would be nice if the people who have suffered through the hardships of South Park, once it's improved, would still be able to live there.
But that's prime real estate. We got one more?
Yes, because the free warning is over starting Wednesday. If you speed through an active Washington work zone and a camera catches you, the first ticket is not going to be $0 anymore. It's going to be $125. The second ticket and everyone after that is $248. WashDOT says these are trailer-mounted cameras. They're only used in the active work zones with signs posted ahead of time, so there should be ample warning for you.
Yeah.
And since the program launched last year, the cameras have been used more than 900 times in 50 work zones, and drivers have racked up more than 85,000 infractions.
You know what I'm saying? So you've had warnings. You had enough warnings.
Yes.
You had 85,000 infractions went out that said $0. There's been enough warnings.
Yes.
There's somebody's mama and daddy that are working in these sites. We don't want that being in Ursula's top stories where someone has lost their life. Ursula, can we agree on this?
Yes.
You had enough warning. Come on now.
Yes. I mean, and sadly, the only way you're really going to learn is if you are penalized by it. And the
only way.
It's kind of like when with those fare ambassadors who would just say, "Hey, it'd be nice if you paid a fare." Until you actually put some teeth into it, it's not going to happen.
We were dropping off on Friday evening. Lillian and I were dropping off her friend Sarah home, and I told you in Fife, there's this stoplight area that if you do a California stop, boom, they sending you a ticket in the mail, right? And there was a vehicle in front of us, must be new to the area, did a California stop. That light flashed. Bing! Let me tell you something, Ursula. I get to that light, red light. Full stop. And I don't know why. They control me. I'm 10 and 2. I don't never put one hand. Two hands. I'm going to start waving. I look to the left. I look to the right. Look to the left. Look to the right. Hand over.
You are hilarious.
All right. Coming up next, we have to, Ursula, unfortunately, has to talk about a story that I find is happening way too much, especially here locally. She'll explain that next. Gee and Ursula.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO Newsradio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM. Powered by MyNorthwest.com.
Progressive knows you could have easily taken the freeway, but you took the scenic route to see a waterfall and an oddly busy boiled peanut stand. Discovering the unexpected is exactly why you bought an RV, so protect it with a bundle from Progressive. Because although you may be 3 hours behind schedule, you're 6 jars of jam richer and possibly enrolled in a butter churning workshop. Switch to Progressive and protect your RV, boat, or motorcycle by bundling with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-572-3344. That's 800-572-3344.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's finally here, and we're kicking it off with a whole lot of free. Free brake pads with Duralast rotors. Free oil filter with 5 quarts of oil. Free Armor All wipes with Armor All glass cleaner, and more. More free, so you can have more summer. Celebrate free at AutoZone. Now through July 27th. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Joe Fallon did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he commissioned a portrait of himself. Does Joe already know what he looks like? Yes. Do guests know what he looks like? Also yes. But not as art. It's Joe's savings, and if he wants to spend it on a velvet painting of himself with a white tiger at his feet, we say, roar, Joe, roar. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
What if the retirement plan you think you have isn't enough? Marshall and Ellen thought they were prepared.
We certainly thought we had all documents. We'd done the wills and the power of attorney and all that stuff.
Then they attended a seminar with elder law attorney Rajiv Nagayich at Life Point Law.
The bigger parts of how that all plays out was definitely helpful.
Life Point Law showed them what they were missing.
There were things we never thought of that made total sense once they were brought up. To have things planned so that your family isn't left with a mess or having to deal with things that they don't know anything about.
So what's their advice?
People wait too long. Get started, figure out what you want to do. Don't wait too long. Make those decisions and look at all your options.
Register for a free Life Point Law retirement planning seminar in Federal Way on July 7th, Bremerton July 9th, Everett July 11th, or Bellevue July 18th. Space is limited. Sign up at lifepointlaw.com. lifepointlaw.com.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value, including testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today.
Deep to right field. Going, goodbye baseball.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But for a view that's a real home run, check out right field. Make that the dump yard. Sure, it's a great spot to see our fearless outfielders fly, dive, and slide.
Wow! Victor Robles makes the catch!
But you might get to flash some leather, too, because the forecast in the dump yard always calls for rain. Raining big dumper home runs, that is.
Number 60, the magical tour of Cal Raleigh just continues.
Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
Don't miss this week's Cal Raleigh Funko Pop giveaway. You have 3 chances to score this one-of-a-kind collectible as the Mariners take on the Angels tonight, tomorrow, and Thursday at T-Mobile Park. The first 10,000 fans at each game will head home with this must-have Funko Pop. Lock in your seats today at mariners.com.
Not all heroes wear capes. Some carry groceries, prepare meals, or simply hold a hand. Caregivers are the everyday heroes who keep our communities strong. Right now, Washington needs more of these heroes. People like you, ready to make a difference in someone's life. Caregiver Careers Washington offers online resources and guidance to help you get trained and start your caregiving career. Become a hero not just to the person you care for, but to their family and their community. Visit caregivercareerswa.com today.
Sponsored by DSHS and aired by the WSAB and this station.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today at carsforkids.org. Your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's cars with a K.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Frank Lindsay. The U.S. Supreme Court will hear a case over its law allowing shelters to help teens access gender-affirming or reproductive care without immediate parental notice. This comes after a 2024 ruling where a federal judge dismissed a lawsuit saying opponents failed to show concrete harm from the law. State Attorney General's office tells KIRO News Radio this morning, quote, "We will be prepared to successfully defend it at the Supreme Court." Meanwhile, in a 5-4 decision today, the Supreme Court upheld state laws that allow the counting of late-arriving mail-in ballots, even if they're postmarked by Election Day. The decision is a loss for the Trump administration.
It is a victory, though, for voters and for the states who have provisions that include these grace periods. A number of states have those provisions. It has certainly been a major issue so far in the midterm elections and the primaries already, as you've seen in California. This is a ruling that says that the congressional statutes that refer to Election Day refer, in essence, to the casting of those ballots rather than the receiving of those ballots.
That's ABC News legal contributor James Sample. Washington State Attorney General Nick Brown releasing a statement this morning that reads in part, "State laws govern when ballots must be received and counted. It's not the president's business." A political shakeup in Seattle. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports Mayor Katie Wilson is breaking with longtime Democratic lawmakers, endorsing their more progressive challengers in 2 key state legislative races.
On Saturday, Mayor Wilson announced she will be endorsing 2 less experienced but more progressive candidates to replace State Senate Majority Leader Jamie Peterson and longtime State Rep Jerry Pollitt. According to the Washington State Standard, Pollitt's opponent, Ron Davis, wants to tax corporations to make everyday life more affordable for the non-wealthy.
I'm running to freeze the rent in public housing, build over 1 million homes, double the buses on the road, and make sure childcare is affordable for every family, and protect our community from Donald Trump.
Social Democrat Hannah Sabio Howell, who's facing Peterson, is calling for more taxes on the rich. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Peterson's being endorsed by Governor Bob Ferguson, Attorney General Nick Brown, and Seattle City Council President Joy Hollingsworth. Democratic primary, by the way, is August 4th. Now, despite cooler, cloudy weather this week, fire danger is still high across western Washington. Mountain snowpack peaked at just half normal. It's mostly melted, leaving fuels dry. Forecasters are expecting a warmer, drier than average summer. Burn bans in effect in 8 western Washington counties, among them Pierce, King, Kitsap, and Snohomish. Island County plans to implement an outdoor burn ban on July 1st. Wall Street at this hour, the Dow up 279 points, NASDAQ up 472 points, and the S&P is up 79. KIRO News Radio traffic, Alderwood to South Center, a little bit of delay now, about a 29-minute drive if you take 405. Normally it's 42 minutes. Also a bit of a delay if you use I-5 as well. Everett to Seattle, about 37 minutes, so it's a delay of 6 minutes right now, but at last check, no major blocking accidents or stalls to get in your way. And this traffic report brought to you by KIRO News Radio. Your weather forecast, calling for gray skies. Today, a high of 69 degrees. Tomorrow, 67. Scattered showers on Wednesday with a high of 66. Right now, we have gray skies in Seattle and 58 degrees. I'm Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Monday to all of you. Appreciate you joining us. Our Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line is open for you. 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. You've heard the story this morning, but I just want to briefly go over it because it is especially disturbing. The former head of residential dining at the University of Washington right now, G, is facing 6 felony charges. He's accused of sexually abusing 2 young girls. His name is Grant Howe, and he's 56 years old. He allegedly contacted and groomed a 15-year-old and a 13-year-old through apps on their phones. And then, according to prosecutors, would give them everything from shoes, clothing, buy them a bunch of food, not buy, probably had access to food, alcohol and marijuana in exchange for sex. And if you are wondering how on earth does something like this happen, there is a story in the New York Times that I think is really important for us to discuss, because many child safety features on social apps simply do not work. That is the headline this morning in the Times. And researchers at New York University and Northeastern tested safety tools on Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, and YouTube, and found that teams could still find very harmful content and connect with unknown adults and easily get around time limits. Yeah. Does any of this come as a surprise to you?
Unfortunately, it doesn't, because in the last month, you have read off the news and talked about these exact stories where adults entrusted with our children are harming our children. And when you were talking just there, I was thinking about some of the movies in the past that you'd watch. And you'd watch someone, maybe like a dad or that grandpa, on the front porch with the shotgun, running to protect the house. But unfortunately, we live in a time where when that person is on the porch guarding their home, unfortunately, they keep looking across the way at who people are demonizing. You see, you have people out here that demonize the LGBTQ community. The reason why I'm bringing them up is because it's Pride right now. So it's a thing where they're demonizing them, telling them and you that these are the threats to the community. How they live and how they are, that's a threat. But while you're on the porch with your shotgun focused on those with the rainbow flag, meanwhile, the wolf is coming in your house. You actually let the wolf in your house. And that is what is happening to these stories. We are constantly focusing. The fear is on people out here. But the stuff, the people that are doing the harm, the wolves out here in our community, are the very people that are entrusted to watch and take care of our children. Ursula, your stories day and day again, all the time, are on this topic.
Well, this one, and the details are horrific. You can read about it in the Seattle Times in terms of this former UW head of residential dining, which, again, he knew that he was dealing with a 13-year-old. He videotaped and admitted he knew that it was a 13-year-old, and again, got them through apps on their phones. And the question I have for people who have children who are still in their teens, like, how much do you actually know is going on with their social media? Thank goodness one of the parents did notice and reported it, because this would have probably continued. And one of the things that they found in this research that is written about in the New York Times is that on Snapchat, adults were able to search for teen accounts and send friend requests, even though the company has said it's making it harder for strangers to find and contact kids. On Instagram, teen accounts are private by default, but researchers found that the app still recommended that a teen girl's account follow profiles that appeared to be mostly adult men. And then on TikTok, researchers found teen users could still get eating disorder content by slightly changing the search terms. So instead of eating disorder, users could type misspelled versions and still get around the safeguards. So, I mean, these safeguards, these companies are saying, yeah, we've got the safeguards in place. No, they really don't.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
And they say they've added dozens of safety features and parental controls, but this report found many of them were just so easy to bypass or broken.
It's definitely a dangerous thing. And if you're a teacher out here, I'm curious, do you all get any type of training on what to look for for our children? And for parents, have you gone to any type of training on what to look for these child predators that are out here? The reason why I'm bringing up the training, and I'm saying this, because these child predators that are out here, they are professionals.
Mm-hmm.
They these folks didn't just start doing it just now. They've been doing it for years. Yeah. And usually, you ever notice the sweet spot of when they get caught? Usually late 40s, in the mid 50s. So that means that for years, they've gotten away with this. And I just think more and more they need to offer classes on how to spot these monsters.
And I do believe that more school districts are offering that kind of thing. But I think it's a conversation also that needs to start at home. And again, I know that not everybody has parents who are at home or et cetera, but anyone who has access to social media needs to realize that there are, and even when you think that you are smart enough about it, I just know from personal experience of someone I love very much who was still duped by somebody who was purporting to be basically a child when in fact they were not.
I just, when you say the conversations at home, sometimes those conversations are happening at home.
Yes. But you still
but you don't know how to curate those conversations because you yourself have never, you've never dealt with it, or maybe you've never had a class on how to do it. So we are telling it's usually, what was that saying? Stranger danger?
Yes.
That has been
yes. It's changed though.
How it
shows up. Yeah, how it shows up is very different anymore.
Yeah.
And there's so many other tools that they can use, these creeps can use to basically get to their victims.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Ursula. A little break in the show.
Yes.
We'll do a little scenarios.
Yes.
We'll do that next. Gee Ursula.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards. Breaking news coverage, best newscast, excellence in writing, investigative reporting, sports reporting, hard news. Capped with a prestigious prize for overall excellence. And we thank you, our audience across the Pacific Northwest. You are the reason we strive to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
One of the things that Mark and I love to do on weekends is to get out and about and see new towns in our state. I love a good road trip, as I've shared with all of you, driving through small towns, stopping where I've never stopped before, and getting a better sense of the places our listeners call home. Like, I always think of Gina in Chimacum, for example. And every year, you all know that Lake Chelan is on my list. And that is one reason Carter Subaru has always made sense for our family. We have purchased both of our Subarus from Carter Subaru. And when you find a dealership that you trust with a decision that big, you want to go back again and again. Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealership with locations in Ballard and Shoreline. They also have the largest Subaru selection in Washington, with more than 800 in stock. And right now, Carter Subaru has 2026 Subaru Outbacks available with just 0.9% financing. Before your next weekend getaway, summer road trip, or annual Chelan run, start at Carter Subaru. Again, you'll find them in Ballard, Shoreline, or online at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 6/30/26.
He was the heart of your family, and he taught you our history. He helped you fix your first flat. He was the best backyard DJ around. And every time he'd tell a story, he'd own the room. But now more than ever, he may feel alone. Today, older adults and their loved ones are struggling to connect in a time when connection has never been more important. But there is something we can do. Embrace our older loved ones through StoryCorps Connect. With StoryCorps Connect, you can honor seniors remotely with an interview about their life. Every interview will be archived at the Library of Congress, becoming part of American history, so that years from now, future generations can listen in.
All right, Grandpa, what's one piece of advice you have for me?
Just 3 words, sweetheart. Live with courage. The man that had the best stories still has plenty of stories to tell. So connect virtually and share the conversation of a lifetime at StoryCorpsConnect.org/AARP. Connect, honor, share. StoryCorps Connect. A message from AARP, StoryCorps, and the Ad Council.
Les Schwab Tires has been proudly serving communities for over 70 years, and we've collected thousands of inspiring stories. Like Kate, who was off on a long road trip with her best friend when the dash lit up like a game show. They find the nearest Les Schwab. Turns out they really needed an oil change. It was done in a flash. Road trip saved. At Les Schwab, we're proud to keep you rolling. Les Schwab Tires. Our greatest story is yours. Stories are composites inspired by real customer feedback.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy. Pretty much hands off, They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Always exhausted, loud snoring, keeping your partner awake? You could have sleep apnea and not even know it. South Seattle Smiles has a comfortable solution with no CPAP required. Most medical insurance accepted. Call 206-241-5533 today. SouthSeattleSmiles.com.
There are 6 markets you can place your money in. Research suggests it's better to have exposure to all 6 markets. Don't miss a potential opportunity because you didn't strategically diversify your assets. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Request your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing in your portfolio. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
Spike O'Neill here. If your loved one's caregiver is planning a vacation or just needs a break, why not consider Aegis Living Respite Care? A short-term stay that provides 24/7 expert care, Aegis Living amenities, and peace of mind for you and your family. Go to aegisliving.com/spike to schedule a visit today.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And right now, new mattresses start at $1,500 during our 4th of July sale. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
Jane Dawson did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With the money she saved, she got herself a pricey bird feeder with an ultra-high-def camera. Should Jane have just bought a regular bird feeder? Yes. Is it hard for her to admire nature when the camera doubles as the bird's potty? Also, yes. But it's Jane's savings, and if she wants to spend her time watching the digestive habits of the white-breasted nuthatch, we say you go, girl. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning to all of you. Coming up at 11 o'clock, Danny Westneek from the Seattle Times writes another good one. And it's Seattle's area's outlier status on homelessness, saying that it's only getting worse. So we'll be discussing that coming up at 11 o'clock. But right now, scenarios.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
I'm so disappointed, and I'm actually angry and don't know what to do. So I've had a crush on this guy from work for months, and he finally asked me out. We planned to go to a local pizza place, but then decided to have it delivered. Fine. He came over, and I was getting ready to order, but instead of asking me what I wanted, he said, "Oh, I ordered already. It should be here in a minute." I thought that was kind of weird, but okay. He ordered 2 medium pizzas. this seemed like a lot, but then again, okay, everything else was going well. We had a good time, watched a movie, and when he was ready to leave, he then asked if I wanted the leftovers. I said no, and that he could have them. Then I said something like, looks like we ordered too much. And this, what he said, really shocked me. He says, I wanted to make sure we had enough. I see, you're a bigger girl, so I know that we would probably have to make sure we have enough pizza. Now, what's that all about? Should I be offended? Should I even talk to him about what he said? Or should I just let it go? 888-973-5476 is the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. Ursula, you're up to bat first.
Oh, Lordy. Should you be offended? You were offended. I mean, wait a minute. Why are we even asking, should you be offended? You were offended.
Yeah.
And he seems a little obtuse, if you ask me. A, just ordering and deciding what to order. And then B, telling you you're a big girl and I assume that you eat a lot. Of all the things to not say on a first date, I would say that would be one of them.
Oopsie.
Yeah, this person probably, in my book, would not get a second date.
Oh, wait a minute, Ursula. Don't go that far. He doesn't have a great filter yet. He should have. I mean, maybe he did order it, but you can't say that.
Yes.
He just made an assumption.
Okay, let me just go with that then. Okay, then you know me. I would bring up absolutely to his face. Excuse me. How do you want me to take that?
Even with the most generous assumption, though, like, let's say the guy's on the spectrum and he's not real sensitive, right? Even with that assumption, you should not be dating, period. Because you clearly don't have a good self-esteem. Like, you think so little of yourself that you're questioning whether you should even feel a negative feeling about the fact that this guy clearly insulted your weight in a really obvious way.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there's a lot of people who have very, very low expectations of themselves, and the people that they date reflect that. And I don't think you're ready to be dating if this is where you see yourself.
Okay, okay, and I think that's a great point. I've got to ask you this question, though, because have you ever, it's been so long, it's been so long since I've been in the dating scene, but have you ever built someone so much and then you actually go on that date and you're like, whoa, that was a letdown?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that happens.
Right?
Yeah.
And so that's what happened here. She'd built him up so much, finally asked me on a date.
Yeah.
And then, first red flag, he's ordering for me without even asking.
Didn't want to be seen in public with her.
Didn't want to be seen in public. That's another good point. Or at least, he just changed the plan. And then now he's basically making a comment about her weight. Yeah.
Because he left afterwards.
This is why I believe.
Run.
This is why I believe, Ursula, that, see if you agree with me on this.
Okay.
I think that the older we get, the harder it is to date. Right? Because I think that your ability to see any type of red flag, because when we're younger, 20s and 30s, you're like, you don't realize those red flags until you're probably married, been together, married 2 years.
Or then now you say, I ain't got time for that.
Yeah, you got time for that. You know what I mean? Like that, like this guy. Now, but the one takeaway from this, and I know people would say that she should probably leave. At least the dude, he's got some good qualities.
He does.
He told the truth. He's like, hey, you're a bigger girl. I thought you was gonna, eat a little bit more. He's just, his delivery's terrible, right? His delivery's terrible, but.
It goes even beyond that. He's making a dig. He's making a dig on the first date. I mean, just if that's on your first date.
But what if it wasn't a dig? What if he genuinely meant that?
Yeah. Mike in Portland, I like what he says. By not getting a second date, this guy will naturally grow a filter. That's just how you learn sometimes.
Now, this dude thought he could just, skip the date. Let's Netflix and chill. I'm going to buy this big girl a whole bunch of pizza. She's going to be so grateful. Oh, she sent me home. I'm taking the leftovers with me and throwing shade at her on the way out the door.
Oh. And then there's that.
Again, it's a whole lot. Nick, save us. What you got?
Well, there's definitely some rights and wrongs when it comes to what you say on a first date. And this dude seems to have thrown out the rule book and gone rogue with the status quo from what's been written in the textbook. You got to have a filter on your comments, especially on first encounters. It's one thing to speak what you feel and the level of honesty she has with herself, whether you or not what he said is true or maybe not, it's not true at all. But we learned that he's going for that whether, he cares about what the other person thinks or not. I would say, you hold back on what you speak about, size and weight and all of that. But you know what? It's up to her whether he's going to have a second date with him or not. It's risque.
Yep. T and Conway.
Oh, no.
Come on, G.
No. Hey, T, I'm not touching that. Nope.
T and Conway is suggesting that she could do him a favor and suggest something else size-wise by leaving something on a counter for him. And I'll just leave it at that.
T and Conway, I just want to ask you.
That's being petty.
You really had that fresh on the Bobby. T, you got some petty ways, don't you? All right. Good stuff. Hey, coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show, Seattle area's outlier status on homelessness is getting worse. This, according to Danny Westneat from Seattle Times. We talk about that next. Gee and Ursula.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO News Radio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM, powered by MyNorthwest.com.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repairs, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. Northwest News.
A riddle brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What do your home and auto have in common? Progressive protects them both. It was an easy riddle. Learn more at Progressive.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-979-3535. That's 800-979-3535. 800-979-3535.
Have something to say? We'd love to hear it. Text KIRO News Radio at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Your local volunteer fire department routinely answers the call, whether it be a fire, traffic accident, or a cat stuck in a tree. But because of declines in memberships, departments have become understaffed. Your local volunteer fire department desperately needs you. Can you direct traffic, install a smoke alarm, help at a fundraiser? No matter what skills you have, you can make a difference. You don't have to fight fire to be a volunteer. Will you answer the call? For more information on how you can help, visit the Volunteer Firefighter Alliance at supportvfa.org.
Have you ever really thought about what happens when you can no longer care for yourself?
If you're not prepared, it's like they just ship you off to a nursing home and you may not even have considered all the options that are available to you.
After retiring, Vic attended a free seminar with elder law attorney Rajiv Nagayach at LifePoint Law, and it changed the way he planned for his future.
He talked about not running out of money, not being a burden to your family. Those are two kind of basic principles that are obviously important.
So what's Vic's advice?
You have to have a plan. You need a running start. You need to be able to understand the system. I would encourage people to consider getting educated. Rajiv has a lot of knowledge, a lot of practical experience that can be helpful.
Register for a free LifePoint Law retirement planning seminar in Federal Way on July 7th, Bremerton July 9th, Everett July 11th, or Bellevue July 18th. Space is limited. Sign up at lifepointlaw.com. lifepointlaw.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Mike Dubusky. Rulings on presidential power and mail-in ballots from the Supreme Court today. Justices finding that the president does have the power to hire and fire the heads of independent government agencies like the FTC and the FAA. Meanwhile, in a case over mail-in voting,
Justice Amy Coney Barrett wrote that federal law does not block Mississippi from counting absentee ballots that arrive as late as 5 days after Election Day. The court's 3 liberal justices joined her opinion, along with Chief Justice John Roberts. Conservative Samuel Alito wrote a dissenting opinion, joined by 3 of his colleagues on the right, saying the majority, quote, creates a serious risk of further undermining public confidence in our elections and our system of self-government.
ABC's Stephen Portnoy, the court also rejecting the president's attempted appeal in the defamation case brought against him by E. Jean Carroll. A senior U.S. official now says 3 Americans are among the dead after last week's devastating earthquakes in Venezuela. This is ABC News. The Federal Aviation Administration now says a JetBlue flight struck a drone while coming in for a landing at JFK Airport in New York this morning. 2 space telescopes are now in precariously low orbits, all because of eruptions from the sun. ABC's Jim Ryan tells us what NASA intends to do about it.
To keep it from plunging out of orbit and burning up in Earth's atmosphere, the Swift Space Telescope needs a lift. Enter a 3-armed robot built by a startup company called Catalyst Space.
It has tremendous amounts of maneuverability.
Catalyst founder Gan-Hee Lee says the mission is clear.
To push this multi-ton, $500 million satellite back up higher in altitude.
Catalyst has offered NASA no guarantees that this first-of-its-kind mission will be successful. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
And underway in New York City right now, a funeral service for Clive Davis. The legendary music producer passed away earlier this month at the age of 94, credited with signing artists like Janis Joplin, Billy Joel, and Whitney Houston. I'm Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
A former UW worker accused of sexually abusing 2 teens. We'll tell you how police say he was caught. But first, we got to get a look at KIRO News Radio traffic with Nate Connors.
Hey, thanks, Frank. This one brought to us by Wilcox Farms. In Renton, northbound 167, we've got a crash just north of 405 at Southwest Grady Way, so it's blocking 2 left lanes, and we're backed up before 180th. Right now, Auburn to Renton at 25 minutes. That's a good 10-minute delay. Here in Seattle, North 5, just a little crowded between the West Seattle Bridge and the downtown. South 5 is wide open. And if you're heading up toward Tiger Mountain on eastbound 18, it's slow from the summit over to Deep Creek, about a 2 to 3 mile backup here. Otherwise, the whole map is green. For a convenient, healthy snack on the go, look for ready-to-eat Wilcox hard-boiled eggs. Find Wilcox eggs at Costco, Metro Market, Safeway, and other local grocers. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Frank Lindsay. The former head of residential dining at the University of Washington is facing 6 felony charges, accused of sexually abusing 2 young girls. Court documents say 56-year-old Grant Lee Huff groomed and paid a 15-year-old and a 13-year-old through apps to their phones, gave him shoes, clothing, alcohol, and marijuana. The mother of the 15-year-old victim contacted investigators in March after she claimed she found sexually explicit images and conversations on her daughter's phone, according to the Seattle Times. Police say Huff used encrypted and auto-deleting messages to avoid detection, including encounters in hotel rooms. He's being held on $750,000 bail. U.S. Marshals have rescued an Arizona girl they believe was a victim of sex trafficking from a homeless encampment near Olympia known as the Jungle. One resident who told KIRO 7 News he saw at least 5 agents searching the camp.
One of them gave me a business card, showed me a picture, mentioned her name.
The mother of an Aberdeen boy believed to have been abused to death says the system failed him. After getting out of prison, Amanda Surveillon tells KIRO 7 she couldn't find her son Aiden. His father, Jacob Bevins, had claimed he was with his aunt in Idaho.
They obviously went and followed up with that and found that wasn't true. Roberta, his aunt, said that she had never met Aiden.
Police say Bevins later admitted the boy died after a head injury and he was found buried in the backyard. Bevins now faces homicide and child assault charges. Magnitude 5.5 earthquake hit off the Oregon coast early this morning, about 185 miles southwest of Eugene. This was at 4:35 a.m. The quake was more than 6 miles deep. Then there were 2 smaller quakes off the Oregon coast in the next 2 hours after that. There was no tsunami threat, however. Crews fighting a fast-moving wildfire near Winthrop in Okanogan County. Hamilton Fire broke out yesterday just west of town, burning about 100 acres. Burn bans are in place across 8 western Washington counties, among them Pierce, King, Kitsap, and Snohomish. And Island County plans to put one into effect on July 1st. KIRO News Radio weather. Cloudy, 69 degrees today, 67 tomorrow. Again, mostly cloudy skies. Scattered showers and 66 on Wednesday. We're up to 59 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Ursula, the 4th is coming up. Any big plans?
Yes, actually.
What you got?
We're going down to Portland.
Okay.
And we're going to do family time. And my fun, loving niece, Nicole, and her son, Kingston, are making sure we are renting a van. They've rented a van. And as a family, like even my boys are coming, and Honey and Walker and Honey's kids are coming. We're all coming together. So all the cousins, and nieces and nephews, and we're going to be going to different spots in this van, playing games in the. Does that sound crazy? We just want to have family time.
That sounds fun.
I know. I know. So we're going to stay a couple nights in Portland.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you? What are you doing? Chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you've had kind of a lot going on.
That's what really sounds good.
Yeah.
Just chilling.
Think about it. You have had quite the last couple of weeks, and you still have a few more to go, right? So what's on tap for this week, by the way, in terms of World Cup matches?
Well, glad you asked. Well, Wednesday's a big day. Here you have Belgium against Senegal. Here, these are all knockout rounds here in Seattle. But the biggest thing is the United States, USA, playing against Bosnia and Herzegovina. That's happening. Winner of that match comes back up here July 6th. Mm-hmm. And so potentially USA can come back here.
Yeah, which would be so fun. That would be epic.
So, yeah, big World Cup.
Okay, text us, Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
When it comes to homelessness, Seattle and King County are truly in a league of their own. This is coming from Danny Westneat at the Seattle Times. He's covering the Brookings report that shows that while many major cities are seeing unsheltered homelessness go down, Seattle is an outlier. It's King County as well, and we are still moving in the wrong direction over here. The new 2026 count found total homelessness in King County is up 9%. We reported that last week. The number of people living outside is up 21%. And countywide, the number of people living on the streets has surged 54% over the past 4 years. And, okay, if you're saying, well, times are tough and this is happening all over the country. No, actually, in Boston, only 3% of people experiencing homelessness are unsheltered. Again, here, 64%. And we have reported on it. We're spending more money than ever on this problem. Mm-hmm. and it's only getting worse. And as Danny Westneat points out, and as we've said on this show, homelessness is not a simple problem. It's very complex. But other cities are trying something that Seattle has not really tried, which is to add more emergency shelter and then also using both help and pressure to move people into those shelters.
Yeah.
And that is one of the most frustrating things is that we keep trying the same things over and over again. But San Francisco is another example that he highlights in his column in the Seattle Times. He points out that they added shelter beds, crisis centers, drug treatment-focused beds, and new rules for RV encampments. And they also, this is important, included enforcement with rapid rehousing subsidies, a vehicle buyback program, and counseling. And what has happened? I mean, their unsheltered population has dropped dramatically. Meanwhile, in the city of Seattle, we have lost close to 700 emergency shelter beds just last year.
I have to admit, this reading, Danny Westneat, you do a great job. Reading this, I was shocked. No, seriously, I was shocked. And then I thought after reading, I'm like, you know what? It tracks. And what tracks? There's so much performative politics that's happening here in this city and around this county. There's so much, I care about the people that happen so much. You're full of it. Imagine this, Ursula. Imagine that right now in the middle of the water, at the middle of Lake Union, right? There's people that are drowning right there in the middle. And you would think, hey, put the lifeboats out, shelter beds, right? The lifeboats. But instead, you yank the lifeboats. In this story, if you would have told me that there would be less shelter beds by almost 700, we've been talking about this for so long, and there's less. And then for the G's of the world that says, hey, everyone, one of the reasons why Seattle is struggling so much with the unhoused is because of affordability, the affordability issues. And then you see the statistics, every city that is starting to do better than Seattle, their cost of living is higher than Seattle. Boston getting better. San Fran getting better. San Diego everybody is improving except for this damn place. And go ahead.
Yeah, well, and why is that?
Performative politics. They sit there, they kick the damn can down the road, they tell you, oh my goodness, I care so much. And then you go and you look at the numbers and you say, well, if you care so much, how are we decreasing the shelter beds?
And I think one of the reasons, there's a whole number of reasons, but remember, one of the things that we came up with was this whole King County Regional Homelessness Authority. What has happened in recent months that we're finding out about this particular agency? I mean, it is it was set up for failure, and it has been a complete failure, and we still don't know where a lot of the money that was given to that agency to solve this problem has gone, and the statistics are worse. Okay, so that's one thing. The other thing is we keep trying the same things over and over again. Yeah, housing affordability is a big issue, but there are other things that go into homelessness as well, including drugs, including mental health issues, which it's not all of it, but you have to address those things, and there have to be repercussions when people say, I don't want to move into shelter. But the other part is, and the disgusting part is, the lack of shelter units and the lack of spaces after all this talk and all this money, and we're going backwards.
I got to tell you, I was shocked. But, I see a lot of times people talk about the drug problem. And I want to speak to that for a second, because I just want to let you go, remind us all different fractions of our community have drug problems, right? Okay? The difference is this. People that have housing and that are doing okay while they're having their drug problem or they go to get treatment, they still have housing. So people that are housed, people have drug problems. The problem is when people are messed up on housing and have a financial bad situation and then have a drug problem, it continues and they don't have the support. They might not have a family member or family to take them in. Because I know that this whole idea is that, people believe that drugs is the driver to being unhoused. To which I'll tell you, you can look this up yourself. Drug problems happen in all areas, housed or unhoused.
And I don't think that's the argument, though. But
it really is. It really is. People really do sit there and say that they believe that the reason why we have such a bad unhoused situation is because of drugs. And for some reason, I don't understand why people just don't go and look at it. Now, are people out there? Are there people on drugs?
A lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of people that are on drugs.
Yes. And so when you say, well, people who are housed have drug issues too, yes, and that is their issue to address within their own families, within their own households. But in the case of people who don't have a place to live and are on the streets and are using drugs openly or having no place to live because they want to continue to use drugs, that's why it has become an even bigger societal problem, if you know what I'm saying. And there are people who are refusing to go into what little, we don't have enough shelter, first of all, and that is an issue that is illustrated here. We don't have enough shelter beds. But with some of the shelter beds that do exist, some people are refusing to go and use those because they're not willing to go through the treatment. And that's one of the big debates is whether there should be mandatory treatment for some. I happen to be a believer of, yes, if you are not able to help yourself, you need to potentially have mandatory treatment to be able to. This is what is happening in places like Boston, in places like San Francisco. They're not using the same thing over and over again and putting barriers into getting people off the street, which is what we seem to do a lot of in this area.
Yes. But we don't, I think what happens is for us is we wait until it's a big problem, until people are exhausted. It's like, for an example, here's a population we don't talk about, and a population that I was a part of. We don't talk about the 13%. Right now, 13% of those unhoused are living in their cars.
Right.
There are people in the working class that are working, trying to make it go to some of these hotels. Some of these hotels allow for vehicles to be there in the parking lot and be able to work and sleep at those places. There are children living in those places. So there's 13% that right now to this day, we don't do enough to go and grab them. Yes. Right? We don't want to grab them. And so that's the part that I have a hard time with, and I'm just shocked. I'm shocked that the Seattle area has less by 700 beds. If you would have told me that was a possibility, I would say no way. No way that would be possible. Yeah. But yet here we are.
Yeah.
700 less.
Yes.
Can I bring up a really, really huge point? Because Ursula, I agree with you. Like, people who need treatment need treatment. We don't have shelter beds. But what about detox beds?
That's another thing.
It's been a long time since we talked about detox beds, but King County doesn't have any massive reservoir of detox beds to go to. If we talk about, 1,000 out of the maybe 6,000 people or even 2,000 on the streets who have drug issues, and there's a couple dozen detox beds total in the county, let alone what's open right now. Where are we going?
Right.
And we could focus on, quote, cleaning up downtown,
Yes.
and Bruce Harrell got a lot of credit for cleaning up downtown. But if
just
the
got
shelter
moved.
beds disappeared,
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
and the people got moved, that is an utter failure.
And one of the things that Danny Westney pointed out, like in San Francisco, they added shelter beds, crisis centers, drug treatment focused beds, and these new rules. Seattle needs to look at the other cities that are. What are they doing differently?
Well,
and
I know,
incorporate those things here.
well, it's very obvious what they're doing differently. Those other places don't have less. Like I'm telling you, Ursula, I cannot believe.
Yes.
Out of all the topics we talk about on a daily basis, you mean to tell me there's less beds? What? How is that possible?
Yes. Poor leadership. That's how it's possible. And we're still trying to figure out again where some of that money went. Yeah. So anyway, that's just so frustrating. But if you haven't read it, read Danny Westney's column. Okay, did you hear about this in our newscast? Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson has now joined King County Democrats, endorsing a challenger to the state's Democratic Majority Leader. So Mayor Wilson is backing Hannah Sabio Howell against Senator Jamie Peterson in the 43rd District. I want to point out that we've had both of them on our show recently. Peterson, as you know, has been getting a lot of heat for being the architect of the new millionaire's tax. But on our show, Sabio Howell actually says she would push for even more taxes on the rich.
We are paying so much more at the end of the day, at the end of the year, to live here than the super wealthy individuals and corporations that have built their wealth here and have gotten richer and richer.
Now, Mayor Wilson says she doesn't want to follow the usual political rule that elected officials need to protect fellow incumbents. Again, so she is endorsing Sabio Howell. She's also endorsing several other candidates who are not the incumbents in other races. She says voters are frustrated with the status quo, and she wants candidates who are more aligned with her agenda. For his part, Peterson has the endorsement of Governor Ferguson, Attorney General Nick Brown, and Seattle City Council President Joy Hollingsworth.
Wow. So we've seen this happen here in the city of Seattle, right?
Yes.
Where we saw a challenger come in Katie Wilson. And, you know, I just...
Important to note that the folks who helped Katie Wilson get into office are also helping Hannah Sabio Howell to beat Jamie Peterson, who by no stretch of the imagination is a conservative, but he's the more conservative one in this race.
So I'll just kind of be simple on this. Ursula, I understand why this is happening, and it kind of goes back to our topic that we just talked about a few minutes ago about what's happening here with the homelessness crisis and the fact that I believe that there's a lot of performative politics that are happening. And there's people that are fed up with the status quo. There are politicians that are in office that all they do is they kick the cans down the road. And what ends up happening is someone comes in, Mom Donnie, New York, right? They come in, they have these fresh ideas, and they come in and they try to execute them. Here's the thing. If they don't get executed, then there's a lot of inexperience that you're going to have to go through to get to those policies and or politics that you are trying to vote for.
What I thought was interesting is in the Seattle Times, Jamie Peterson was saying, this is the first time I'm actually getting a real challenge. He's out fundraising her, but she's got a lot of momentum right now, and he's actually for the first time in his long career as a politician actually concerned about whether he makes it through. Well, I mean, you know, the primary is coming up, but what's going to happen in November?
Yeah.
Okay, can we talk about something real quick? Would you buy bread at a restaurant? Because there was a rant in the Seattle Times.
Jimmy John's.
Okay, because what about charging $9 to $15 for bread?
Jimmy John's, take my money.
But the free bread. I'm talking about the bread basket.
Oh, the bread basket.
Do you think the restaurants should be charging for just like bread baskets and chips and salsa? Those should come with the meal.
Oh, I know what you're saying.
I'm talking about the before your meal when you're in a nice restaurant, charging $9 to $15 for bread.
I mean, in all fairness, Olive Garden should charge for that amazing breadsticks.
No,
you know,
then the people are going to revolt. You need the all-you-can-eat breadsticks.
Olive Garden be packed all the time. I don't know, Ursula. Look, it's hard out here. There's a lot of these restaurants trying to make money. How about this? They need to help them out with that tax credit, that tip tax credit. You know what I'm saying, and help them out there and help these restaurants out. But
are you going back to a restaurant that charges you $9 for a basket of bread before your meal?
Depends on how good it is.
Okay.
Can we agree on this?
No.
If there's one thing that I have learned about food, and for those out there,
it's expensive.
If the food is good, most people don't care about price. That's the truth. They really don't. If they have money. If it's good, I mean, even people with no money still order DoorDash. but if it's good. But if it's not good, then you got to complain. But by the way, who's got the best free bread offered out there in the game?
Okay, it's a spendy restaurant, but
who?
Metropolitan Grill has some good bread.
Yeah.
Well, who are you thinking?
They got some good bread. I'm trying to think.
I'll give one of my own shout out, like Anthony's Beach Cafe. They got that warmed up focaccia bread, with all the herb butter on top.
Yes.
Nick, you got to go one?
Oh, every time you go to the Cheesecake Factory, they warm that bread up for you. The sweet oat bread, the brown bread. Woo! Put a little butter on there.
This entire time, I was stalling. I was like, I'm trying to think of the brown bread Cheesecake Factory.
Got the little oats on there, too.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. All right, coming up next, agree to disagree.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes. KIRO News Radio, where you hear the John Curley Show, afternoons 2 to 7.
All they care about is whether they make money. You could see it. When Trump was out of office, they lost money. Trump comes back in office, they make money. Fox stock goes up, MSNBC goes down, CNN loses viewers, they lose money, everybody's unhappy. They need people to fight.
The John Curley Show. Subscribe to KIRO News Radio on YouTube and watch live or later.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
The sounds of summer. They're great until they're not. Luckily, AutoZone has free battery testing and charging
Let me check that for you.
to help make a rough moment smooth. Don't miss the Celebrate Free event at AutoZone. Free products with select deals until July 27th. And free services every day. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Progressive knows it ain't easy navigating the open plains of home insurance, but there is one man who can help tame that wild herd of options. The Home Quote Explorer.
Note, Progressive's Home Quote Explorer is not a real person, but an online tool that lets you compare home insurance.
He's the type of fella who helps you decide on the right insurance, even if it ain't with him.
Again, not a person, just an online tool that helps you find great home coverage.
A real pioneer.
Okay, fine. Just do the thing. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations.
On BritBox, there is a place where stories twist like cobblestone roads, grand manners hide secrets, and stakes are higher than seaside cliffs. Find places worth getting lost in on BritBox. Watch new series like The Other Bennett Sister from the world of Jane Austen and A Woman of Substance starring Golden Globe winner Brenda Blethyn. If you want to get away, you're in the right place. Stream the best of British TV on BritBox. Free trial at BritBox.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens? Am I in a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment. Can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi. It's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Frank Lindsay. By a 5-4 vote, the U.S. Supreme Court has issued a ruling upholding the counting of late-arriving ballots as long as they're postmarked by Election Day.
Justice Amy Coney Barrett wrote that federal law does not block Mississippi from counting absentee ballots that arrive as late as 5 days after Election Day. The court's 3 liberal justices joined her opinion, along with Chief Justice John Roberts. Conservative Samuel Alito wrote a dissenting opinion, joined by 3 of his colleagues on the right, saying the majority, quote, creates a serious risk of further undermining public confidence in our elections and our system of self-government.
ABC's Stephen Portnoy, Washington Democratic U.S. Representative Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez says she is relieved by the ruling, and in a post on X, she says, quote, if you work a shift job, have young kids, or live out in the woods, you can't just knock off for the day to go stand in line at a polling place. A political shakeup by social democrats in Seattle. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports instead of endorsing 2 longtime Democratic state legislators who represent the city, Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson says she's endorsing their more progressive opponents.
According to the Washington State Standard, on Saturday, Mayor Wilson told State Senate Majority Leader Jamie Peterson, author of the Millionaire's Tax, and longtime state representative Jerry Pollitt, she will be endorsing their opponents in order to shake up the status quo. Social Democrat Hannah Sabio-Howell on the Gee and Ursula Show is calling for more taxes on the rich.
We are paying so much more at the end of the day, at the end of the year, to live here than the super wealthy.
Pollitt's opponent, Ron Davis, wants to tax corporations to make everyday life more affordable for the non-wealthy. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Democratic primary here in Washington, August 4th. Washington Republican Congressman Michael Baumgartner says he stepped in to staff Washington's booth at the Great American State Fair on the National Mall. He tells the Jason Ranch Show on Seattle Red 770 AM he got no response from Governor Bob Ferguson about taking part.
Once I saw how empty and bleak and pathetic and embarrassing it was, it just bugged me that he was putting partisan politics in front of celebrating our wonderful America.
Lieutenant Governor Denny Hex says that the decision to skip the event was based on expense. Seattle police investigating a string of armed robberies early this morning that may be connected. About 4:30, 2 masked suspects tried to rob a man near Cary Park. 10 minutes later or so, they hit a Queen Anne convenience store stealing cash, took off in a dark sedan. A third robbery happened about 20 minutes after that in South Seattle. No one was hurt. JetBlue pilot reported hitting a drone as he approached JFK International Airport to land in New York this morning. The FAA is looking into this. It happened as the plane passed through 3,000 feet as it was crossing the coastline. The plane landed safely. No additional help was needed, and no damage was found when they inspected the plane afterwards. Wall Street today, the Dow up 358 points, NASDAQ up 464, and the S&P is up 80. KIRO News Radio traffic now. Here's Nate Connors.
Thank you, sir. It's looking great out there as we round out the morning. No collisions to report. Northbound 167 is heavy still between 180th and 405. Excuse me. We cleared our earlier crash at Grady Way, so we're improving here. Auburn to Renton at 20 minutes. Still about a 10-minute delay. North 5 in Seattle, just a little crowded from the West Seattle Bridge in the downtown. South 5, we've got a new stall mid-span on the Ship Canal Bridge. It's on the right shoulder. It isn't blocking, but once a tow arrives, we could see that right lane blocked. Here are some drive times. Everett to Seattle, 25 minutes. Alderwood to South Center on 405, a half hour. And Olympia to Tacoma, also a half hour. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Cloudy skies and 69 degrees today. Mostly cloudy, 67 tomorrow. Mostly cloudy again on Wednesday. Some scattered showers in the forecast, too. High on Wednesday, about 66. It's 58 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Frank Lindsay. KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show, and our last conversation got a lot of you thinking about bread, and we have a couple of more suggestions that I think are worthy of mentioning. Red Lobster, according to Kara, the cleaning lady, and she's correct. Cheddar Bay biscuits. Hello. And then Rosemary in Auburn says Chinooks at Fisherman's Wharf in Ballard has delicious bread. And then Ernie and Kent was saying Canless, which I look forward to getting Mike Lewis to pay for my Canless meal and that bread.
Wait, why Mike Lewis paying for your meal?
Because he bet me that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce would not get married.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Years ago. When they first got together.
I
Are
predicted
you serious?
it. Yes, and he's taking me out to Canless. He put Canless on the line. I was like, I'm going for it.
Wow.
Yep.
But one more. Shout out to Dukes.
Oh,
Dukes in that bread. That,
Patty, yes. Patty mentioned it to us, and you were like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the key is got to be warm.
Yeah.
It's got to be fresh.
Got to be nice.
Yes,
fresh.
for sure. Okay. With that, let's go to Agree to Disagree, brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves and just really go at it.
For once, I don't even have to segue here.
Ernie goes to Canless, by the way.
I know. Hello. He also told me you were correct. If the food is good, people are willing to pay. So I stand corrected.
All right. Well, leading up to this big celebrity wedding this summer, Newsweek asked a couple of wedding planners about some of the changing rules of guest lists, including when your partner's invited and you're not. So one of the wedding planners noted that increasingly couples are limiting plus ones, and they said that it's perfectly acceptable to limit plus ones, including married partners, to keep the celebration intimate. Gee, what do you think about limiting plus ones, including married partners?
I'm not going.
Not going.
I'm not going. I'm a grown man, dog. You gonna invite me to your wedding and you not gonna invite my wife? I ain't going.
But what if the invite came to her and not you?
She ain't going.
Oh?
I mean, come on now. I mean, what are we talking about? Like, who's, you know what I'm saying, Ursula? Who is going to invite you? Like, hey, Ursula, come to my wedding just for you. What
Someone who's really broke.
Well, I ain't coming to your wedding.
Well, but I think that's
and I ain't giving
just make
you
it
a gift. And now you
were going
messed
to
up.
get him a gift anyway.
Yes, sir.
No, I'm just kidding. Of course you would.
If I come, yeah.
Yes, but I think that just looks. Wedding planners are saying that's perfectly okay.
Yeah.
And
No,
that's
it's not
apropos.
okay.
I think people will talk about it.
So
still.
long as they're consistent about it.
Now, text in. Hey, wait. Am I by myself on this one? I mean, I don't.
No,
you with me?
I would also think it's weird
Would
if
you
someone
go?
said probably not, unless I knew the exact circumstance. And if Mark said, you know what, I hope you should go because it's really important for you to be there, but they can't afford to have too many plus ones. I get it.
I'm not going.
Hey, we're having guest list is 40, and it's for the wedding, and it's just very close friends of both of us and our families. And
I don't know your
partners are
husband.
out. That's going to go to 80 people if we say plus ones, including the wedding folks.
Yeah, I think that it's a rare occasion where that wouldn't get a lot of talk.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'd be okay with that.
No,
go ahead, Gabby. Enjoy the wedding.
Because
I'm
you
gonna
don't
be
like
fine.
going to weddings anyway.
Is there
it's got to be a fast wedding.
Is there
got to be fast.
Now, is there
You're just looking for a way to duck out of it.
Is there a new thing now where you just like you only have X amount of people at the wedding and then you invite people to the reception?
Yes.
Yeah, they note
That is a big
that
thing.
reception only invites. So being invited to a part of the event is increasingly common, and they say reception only invite is the couple saying we want to celebrate with you. We just can't host you for the whole production. Completely normal and fine.
I'm cool with that.
You're cool with that?
As a matter of fact, there's a lot of people. Oh, wait. You mean to tell me we don't have to sit through the wedding and we just come to the reception?
Yes.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, man, a lot of
Well,
people.
how about this one?
Yeah.
How about this one?
Yeah.
When people say no kids to the wedding, and then there are these people who insist that they're going to bring their kids anyway.
You know,
I never get that.
That's
one.
starting a new thing now. And if you're somebody that says no kids, I can't fault you for that.
Right?
Yeah, I can't fault you for that.
Exactly. Like sometimes you want it to be a certain way, and you want people to be able to focus, and having kids makes it a little bit harder.
Right.
But there are some people who will insist that their kids need to go.
Yeah.
And make a stink about it.
By the way, do me a favor. Y'all need to take a screenshot of all of these folks coming in agreeing with me. And I want to make sure I put a list together. Because a lot of y'all agreeing with me and Ursula talking about, my wife, my spouse not invited. I'm out. I need a screenshot of all of these folks. That way they are on the I've agreed with G one time list.
What's the problem? It's the one circumstance where like nobody's trying to like get with your partner. It's not like, oh, G can't come because I'm trying to hook him up with my, lillying up with my friend or anything like that. Who cares?
It's still weird. It's still
Why?
weird.
I mean,
but
that's like saying, like a girls' night out. You want the husband coming on the girls' night out?
But that's different than a wedding.
Yeah, you stretch.
Well, I know it's marginally different.
Yeah, marginally. I think just Chef doesn't like weddings.
Well, what do you? Oh, let me stretch the child-free spaces thing, because my church. This happened this Sunday. My church. Every service, they say at some point during the liturgy, we welcome children in all parts of our service, and the noises that they make are both welcome and joyful. I gotta be honest, I get annoyed, like, if your kid is talking and like yammering around and for 2-3 minutes during a quiet part of the service. I don't want kids in there. Like, you think we should have more kid-free spaces?
Then it's up to you to find a different church.
Leave.
I was going to send you guys over the weekend. You know how we be sending stories?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's an airline overseas where they allow you to look on to see where children are sitting at
You can
on the
select
airline.
seats
Now,
from kids.
Can I ask you guys this? Would you guys want this, or would you say, no, G, it doesn't matter where I sit?
Oh, I would, especially now I'm out of the having my own kids range. I used to try to bribe people who would sit around us when we had little ones.
Yeah. You bribe them with what?
Yeah, just like, hey, give them like little treats, offer them treats.
What?
Try to be nice. And then I would do everything in my power.
Like a Lindor chocolate or something?
Yes. Candy,
you think
whatever.
that's going to buy my goodwill? You giving me a chocolate if you're screaming for 8 hours?
I would apologize. I never had a kid who screamed the entire time.
Okay.
That would be the other thing.
I want to say something to get myself in trouble.
Oh, no.
Here we go.
You're too popular during the segment.
Sweeping statement. Yeah,
no.
I need you guys mad at me, okay? Here we go. Sweeping statement. New parents today make it to where folks that don't really have younger kids don't like being in public with kids, because the new parenting these days, like, they're just expressing themselves, and they're just, they're running around throwing stuff. You better stop. We're going to put you on timeout at some point. Today's parents make those kids not listen. Yesterday's parents, they just gave you a look. I wish you would do that again. Sit down.
Yeah. Your kid's being loud for 5 minutes in a quiet place?
Yeah.
Take them out.
Thank you.
Wait.
No, I agree.
You agree with that sweeping statement?
I don't. Yeah.
I'm killing it today.
I'm sorry, but yeah, even in church, when we used to go to church, when the kids were little and they would
be disruptive.
They'd be disruptive. I'd be walking out. Yes. I don't need everyone else to be distracted. I'm not going to pretend I'm still going to church regularly.
That was awesome, Ursula. That was awesome.
Back when moral instruction was important in our family.
Yes.
All right.
I enjoyed it when we did go.
Text messages, feedback, and then Ursula's word to live by.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO News Radio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM. Powered by MyNorthwest.com.
Summer is a time to celebrate, but also a time when DUI arrests go way up. Please be safe out there and don't make the mistake of drinking and driving. But if you do make that mistake, DUI Heroes is here for you to help you get your life back together. They defend you, the person, the human, during the traumatizing and stressful time going through this. That's why they call themselves DUI Heroes, because when the odds are stacked against you, you need a hero on your side. DUI Heroes, 1-800-DUI-HERO or DUIHeroes.com.
Les Schwab Tires has always believed that taking care of people is the right thing to do. Today, that means more than trusted service. It means delivering real value, too. That's why we're lowering prices on hundreds of tires without changing the service and expertise you've always counted on. Consumer Reports named Les Schwab the best tire retailer for 2026. We'll keep working every day to earn your trust. See leschwab.com for details.
What if the retirement plan you think you have isn't enough? Marshall and Ellen thought they were prepared.
We certainly thought we had all documents. We'd done the wills and the power of attorney and all that stuff.
Then they attended a seminar with elder law attorney Rajiv Nagayich at Life Point Law.
The bigger parts of how that all plays out was definitely helpful.
Life Point Law showed them what they were missing.
There were things we never thought of that made total sense once they were brought up. To have things planned so that your family isn't left with a mess or having to deal with things that they don't know anything about.
So what's their advice?
People wait too long. Get started, figure out what you want to do. Don't wait too long. Make those decisions and look at all your options.
Register for a free Life Point Law retirement planning seminar in Federal Way on July 7th, Bremerton July 9th, Everett July 11th, or Bellevue July 18th. Space is limited. Sign up at lifepointlaw.com. lifepointlaw.com.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value, including testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today.
When you walked through your kitchen this morning, what'd you see? Did it make you happy? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Well, I want to make you happy. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. We're having a trade-in sale. You'll save $30 per door and drawer front off the cost of your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600 or heritagehomecraft.com.
Meet Matthew Preston. Inside his apartment, everything he holds dear is protected by Progressive's renter's insurance, like his laptop and a surprisingly valuable collection of baseball bobbleheads. Outside his apartment, his laptop is still protected, as are his bobbleheads, which he carries around with him for reasons no one knows. Renters, the limits of protection aren't just the four walls of your home. When you're in Progressive's Protection Zone, get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
It's Gee and Ursula. Hey, before we get to these text messages, I just want to say I'm very, very disappointed in all Gee and Ursula Show listeners.
Why? Because they agreed with you more than ever today.
Ernie texted in and said, agree with G Monday. He must have gotten his sleep. I need you guys better. Don't let me get comfortable, okay? Tomorrow, I need you back on your game.
There were at least 3 topics were overwhelmingly like, yeah, I agree with G. I agree with
Stop
G.
it.
I agree with G.
Don't worry, I didn't include any of those in the text messages.
Man,
you're killing me.
What's going on? All right, what we got?
Well, I shared, along with your People magazine exclusive interview, I did share the story about visiting the ER this weekend.
Yeah.
And some folks were feeling for me. 425 said, Ursula, welcome to the age where you have to ask, should I spend $3,000 to have a doctor tell me I'm just gassy?
Wow.
Okay, sorry. Joe in the 253 said, Ursula, I had a similar pain event in my chest, turned out to be a splenic infarction. Now I take blood thinners to help for clots. And then Tracy in Tacoma said, oh, Ursula, I feel your pain. Once we turn 60, everything breaks and our warranty expires. Every day we ask, is this a real problem or am I just getting old? The struggle is real. Nailed that one.
Yeah. Kids roving in packs on e-bikes in violation of the law. 425 says, I saw a takeover on 164th and I was shocked. I ride a motorcycle, so I know the dangers and understand defensive riding. I watch these children. I get very worried for their safety. Drivers also have to deal with these close calls. Parents, please take these away before someone gets seriously hurt or killed.
Russ in the 253 says, I saw the exact same thing at Swan Creek in Tacoma, except the kids were also starting fires with fireworks and blowing up porta potties.
Wait.
Why are you guys chuckling?
Wait. I just want to. Okay.
Are you about to share that you did that when you were?
No. Can 15-year-old G just talk for a sec?
Sure.
Okay. No, I've never done this before, but man, back when I was 15.
Yeah.
I can't admit I'd love to see it done. A porta potty?
Yeah.
A firework? No.
Okay, like we're saying though, you don't want to be doing this. Mac in Bellevue says this is happening in other cities as well. He is law enforcement.
Yeah.
He says, I see it also when I'm on duty. The parents are the problem. These kids are as young as 11 riding in the streets. And as an officer, we have a dilemma because how far do you want the police to go to enforce? I'm willing to bet that parents do not want us using force to catch these kids. My career and livelihood as a provider of my family is not worth the risk of getting fired or prosecuted if a child gets hurt from an officer trying to chase them. That's a very real dilemma.
Mark in Kirkland says, you punks, get off my lawn. I'm kidding, of course. I agree. My hood is overrun with these things.
Seattle is considering getting rid of Highway 99 in South Park. Jerry in the 206 says, South Park children have lived with major roads on all sides of them for years. Get rid of it. The South Park Rec Center is right there where children have died from vehicles.
Scenarios. My first date told me he ordered 2 whole pizzas on our first date because I was a bigger girl. Daniel in Tacoma says, it's okay to be thick-bodied, but it's not okay to be thick-headed.
Winner, Daniel. I love that. Shane in Gig Harbor wants to know, what if she did eat a whole pizza? Ay. That's not the point. Just don't bring it up on a first date. That you made an assumption that because she's big and you tell her because you're big, I think that you would eat 2 pizzas.
Can I? Okay, now I want to.
Oh, no. G wants to end the show with you not agreeing with him. Okay.
No.
Okay.
I want to ask.
Okay.
No, this is a question I want to ask you and all the ladies out there. Have you guys ever purposely stopped eating even though you're still hungry to not appear?
Yes, of course.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just want to know.
And a lot of times, I actually appreciate when people will eat on a first date. And when I see my sons dating and their girlfriends, I'll eat and without any sort of concern about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because that says that is a healthy relationship with food.
That's a deal breaker if she's just picking at the salad.
Yes. Is it? Well, I don't know if it's a deal breaker, but it just means
For
that
me.
she has received a lot of criticism and is probably very self-conscious about
So,
it.
Ursula, you really think there are a lot of women that will just stop eating to not appear like they're eating too much?
Absolutely.
Wow.
I've done it.
Talk about not keeping it a buck.
Yes. Absolutely.
I don't think men would be ladies, just so you know, I don't think men would be turned off because you have a hefty appetite.
Yeah, but the scenario you shared was the guy saying that she was thick or she was big and that, she was a heifer who eats 2 pizzas.
Ursula, tell me your words to live by. What you got?
I don't know who to credit for this quote, but I like it. Success is not about doing everything perfectly. It's about doing what you can, when you can, with what you have.
Wow. You didn't have to pay for a paywall for that one. Shout out to that $15. Hey, Nick, what you got, man?
Well, I know some like dabbling with gambling and some bets, taking chances with what they think could be lost without a sweat. But for others, they might speed past their own limits, losing fear, kind of like that e-bike gang that Sully Warren spins in high gear. So instead of going off the rails with wagers and those bikes, splurge on Cheesecake Factory bread and Cheddar Bay biscuits we like. Just don't ask your first date if they want the leftover bread because you think they might be plus size. That's a red flag on that first date.
By the way, this is one of my favorite songs from Scarface.
I knew you'd like this one.
Yeah, it's from the movie. All right, Ursula, good stuff today.
Yeah, we'll do it again tomorrow.
We'll be back tomorrow.
And we're
no
going to be
doubt.
here all the way through Thursday.
That's right. Chef, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Nick, you got any big plans for the 4th?
Big 4th of July extravaganza at Cheney Stadium.
Uh-oh.
Tapping into the pulse of the fans, baby. We got a couple fireworks shows this week.
You know who the DJ's going to be?
I think there's some guy in this building right now. We'll see.
Good stuff. Hey, the Jake and Spike show, they're coming in next. Make sure you stick it around. And remember, like I said, tomorrow, I need you guys, no agreeing with me tomorrow. Get on top of your game. All right. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you had as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
Welcome to the limit. Take it maybe one step more. Our game's still playing, so we better win it.
KIRO News Radio, where you hear the John Curley Show, afternoons 2 to 7.
You have a whole bunch of people getting on, not paying. Imagine this on a bus. You get on the bus, you got your little stupid card that you paid for, and you swipe it, and then the seat folds down and you can sit down. There's no standing. So if you get on and you don't have a little card, whoop, there's no place for you to sit. Whoosh, out the back.
The John Curley Show. Subscribe to KIRO News Radio on YouTube and watch live or later. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
Hartley here from Wilcox Farms. For over 100 years, my family's been committed to doing what's right. At Wilcox Family Farms, that means caring for our hens with healthy pasture environments and a diet of organic grains and flax seeds. It's how we produce eggs that are wholesome, flavorful, and good for you. Next time you're at an egg case in your local store, we hope you feel good about choosing Wilcox eggs. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
Whatever the heat index, stay cool this summer. Your local Bryant dealer can make sure your system is up to the task. Whether it's maintaining your current system or installing an energy-efficient Bryant Evolution cooling system with perfect Humidity Plus technology, your dealer will give you what you need to help your family beat the heat. Learn more and schedule an appointment with a factory-authorized dealer today at BryantNorthwest.com. That's BryantNorthwest.com. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Hi, I'm Dr. Nia Hurd-Garris with today's tip for kids from the American Academy of Pediatrics. As parents, we want our children to grow up healthy and strong. That means helping teens take responsibility for their health as they become young adults. One way to do that is to make sure they have one-on-one time with their pediatrician. That helps them become comfortable talking about any health issue with their doctors and with you. So make sure to give your teen a voice. It's good for their health. For more on teen health, visit healthychildren.org.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Gordillo.
Your best source for local news.
Newly released police video shows the arrest of a 17-year-old.
KIRO News Radio.
Are you in pain? Have you considered surgery or even joint replacement? Hi, everybody, it's John Curley. Before you make that decision, I recommend you see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. I did, and it's been a game changer. My doctor took a look at my x-rays and said, well, looks like you need a whole new hip. And then he said, wait, how old are you? And I told him, and then he said, well, wait, you're too young for a hip. You're just going to have to, live with the pain. We'll see in 3 years. It was horrible. Dr. Wagner is a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience performing more than 20,000 stem cell procedures, using a person's own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in their own joints. People with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, are back doing what they enjoy doing without pain and without surgery. So whether it's a hip like I had, or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
Progressive Insurance. Progressive can protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, RV, and more. In short, a lot of things. Bundle today at progressive.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call